Chapter 211 Lightning Flash 5. Zing. A strangely eerie sound echoes. But as soon as I hear that sound, my consciousness surges as if it's about to explode. It's distant, like the Black Dragon, or perhaps even more distant than the Black Dragon. It's a being from a far-off dimension. However, all the true immortal level beings I had met until now were either avatars or the lingering thoughts contained within a drop of blood. Despite being from a distant dimension, the entity that has descended here is undoubtedly the true body. I mustn't look. Recalling the time I met him, I lower my head to the ground, trying my hardest to forget about that entity without looking directly at the true immortal. Yet, even without looking directly and stopping my thoughts, that seeing sound seems to tear through my mind. I open my eyes wide upon seeing Jin Baek Ho in front of me. Quote ellipsis exclamation mark. KRRRGH. Quote ellipsis exclamation mark quote. Jin Baek Ho is becoming lightning. Not metaphorically, but physically. Starting from his eyes, his entire body is turning into lightning and scattering into the air. Yet, even as this happened, Jin Baek Ho is clutching his head and gritting his teeth. Don't listen. That thing is speaking. You mustn't listen to those words. Words. It seems that the zing sound is heard as some form of words by Jin Baek Ho. Perhaps, like only those who have mastered the techniques of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect can see and grasp the Heavenly Lightning Banner, they are words that only those who have mastered the Lightning Path methods can hear. Don't speak. No, don't talk to me. Don't look at me, please. I try my utmost not to recall the I of the true immortal I had just seen, burying my head into the ground and focusing my consciousness on a single pattern of the teleportation array in front of me. I must think of something else. As much as possible, simultaneously, the Heavenly Lightning Banner gently begins to ascend into the air. TSSTSTSTST. After rising a certain distance, the Heavenly Lightning Banner suddenly emits light. Quagwagwong. The next moment, a golden bolt of lightning strikes the spot from which the Heavenly Lightning Banner rose, that is, between me and Jin Baek Ho. I feel as if something is unleashed from the Heavenly Lightning Banner as it is struck by the golden lightning. At the same time, rays of light bursts from the Heavenly Lightning Banner, and something appears within the rays. Quote. It's a small foot. Sarek. The edge of a modest attire formed from lightning touches the ground. And the small, white bare feet visible from within the attire catches my eye. A beautiful voice begins to echo in all directions. My lord, my master. Have you finally come to rescue me? Shiver, shiver. Hearing that voice, chills run down my back. Oh great one, please take me with you. The being, clad in modest attire of lightning, kneels down. Although I can't see the face of the entity, the voice, with its pure white hair flowing down, sounds otherworldly bizarre. The kneeling entity, as if praying, clasps its hands together and begins to pray towards the sky. Please allow me to return to you. Let me go back to you. Allow me to devote myself to you again. As it begins to pray, a terrifying event begins to unfold. Return. Jin Baek Ho, who is disintegrating into lightning, suddenly kneels in the same posture, clasping his hands and bowing his head. Return to thee. Not just him. I can sense it. Across the entire heavenly human island, the same phenomenon is occurring everywhere. Return to thee. Return to thee. Return to thee. Pedestrians and cultivators passing by, regardless of their cultivation, all begin to kneel down and pray. Simultaneously, everyone's bodies, which are vaporizing into lightning, begin to ascend into the sky at an even faster rate, becoming lightning itself. It's as if they are scattered lightning returning to a more magnificent being. Just then, exclamation mark. The zing sound echoes again. At the same time, the entity with cascading white hair speaks with emotion. I understand. As it resolves the resentment I harbored for 120,000 years being exploited by the descendants of the Golden Deity, I will follow your command. The barefoot, it, begins to ascend to the sky. ZZZT, ZZZT. It's dangerous. I shouldn't be here. I need to run. But, if I run, I'll be returning to that being. Even the slightest movement on my part makes me feel like I will bizarrely transform into lightning and be absorbed into the sky. The reason I can stay intact seems to be solely because I was the one who called out the name, Zhengli. That is the sole reason. The voice of the entity ascending into the sky, presumably Zhengli of the Heavenly Lightning Banner, echoes throughout Heavenly Human Island. I, the essence of the great heavenly punishment, summon the heavenly tribulation on behalf of my lord. Coo goo 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 goo. I feel an immense ray of light gathering in the sky. The judgment shall now begin. The next moment, whoosh, rays of light fills heavenly human island, shattering the headquarters of the human race Grand Alliance into pieces. Jaeon Myung-hoon opens his eyes. Where is this? Clearly, he was walking down the street, then he was suddenly dragged into darkness. His memory cuts off after that. My chamber. However, he realizes this place is his chamber and training room and looks around. Then, he finds a woman in a golden robe sleeping beside him. So-hae. That's when the woman in the golden robe, Jin So-hae, opens her eyes. Oh, junior brother, you're awake. So-hae, what happened? What do you mean, silly? Do you know how shocked I was when you suddenly left? What, even if you were being manipulated by a villain, how could you leave me behind so decisively without any hesitation? Hoo-hook. Jin So-hae seems about to say something but stops, bursting into tears and hugging Jaeon Myung-hoon, crying. Jaeon Myung-hoon, not understanding the situation, awkwardly scratches his head and speaks. I don't know what happened, but I could never leave you behind, So-hae. Yeah, good. What happened? Let's go outside. You'll see. Jaeon Myung-hoon and Jin So-hae leave his chamber together. Soon, his eyes widen in shock. The Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect is in ruins as if it had been bombed. What in the world? An external villain targeting you and the Heavenly Lightning Banner attacked the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. You were manipulated by that villain for several days, helping them. The sect leader has gone to defeat the villain with the Heavenly Lightning Banner. He will return soon. That happened. Seeing Jaeon Myung-hoon flustered, Jin So-hae asks seriously. When you were being manipulated by the villain, you didn't hesitate to say you would leave me and the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. I said that, yes. So, I have something to ask you. She looks into Jaeon Myung-hoon's eyes with a serious expression. If something difficult befalls the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect in the future, something we cannot handle, will you leave the sect? At her question, Jaeon Myung-hoon closes his eyes and recalls his memories of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. That's impossible. You promise? Yes, I promise. I, Jaeon Myung-hoon, will never betray the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sector Jin So-hae, no matter what. Jaeon Myung-hoon extends his pinky to So-hae. Is this how you promise in your homeland? Yes. The two link pinkies to make a promise and then seal it with their thumbs. Why would I betray the sect? The person I love most is here. The last time I said we should run away together was just out of frustration. Jaeon Myung-hoon straightens up and smiles at Jin So-hae, trying to look reliable. Do you trust me? Kim So-hae, reassured by his words, opens her mouth. And then, the sky turns yellow. Cheering. Heavenly tribulation strikes the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. No, it isn't heavenly tribulation. It is far too vast and filled with too much malice to be just a heavenly tribulation. Kugugugugang. It comes from above Thunder Spirit Island, which is just slightly smaller than the continent of the Head Realm. Above it, the shape of an eye is projected, and a rain of lightning begins to pour down over the entire Thunder Spirit Island. Kugugugugu. All sound fades away. The colors fade too. All that remains in front of the eyes is a purely white world. Everyone of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, engulfed in an unbearable heavenly tribulation they are powerless to resist, begin to melt along with the ground they stand on, falling downwards. Everyone melts away, except for Jaeon Myung-hoon. No, this can't be. Jaeon Myung-hoon's talent is such that, even as he faces heavenly tribulation, he absorbs the tribulation itself, veering away from its might. A talent loved by all lightning, including the heavenly tribulation. This is the heavenly golden thunder body. However, even as Jaeon Myung-hoon faces the tribulation, he fails to find it in himself to feel joy as his cultivation wildly fluctuates. Instead, he goes into a state of panic. Before his eyes, his lover is being fried alive. Without even a chance to scream. No, Jaeon Myung-hoon desperately hugs Jin So-hae, trying to reduce the area of heavenly lightning striking her. He also tries to block the heavenly tribulation with spells. But the heavenly tribulation that covers the entire continent, splitting the world as it strikes, simply cannot be blocked. In his arms, Jin So-hae dies. No, no, no. Don't die, don't die. Jaeon Myung-hoon screams, holding Jin So-hae's hand, half out of his mind. But the lover he holds in his arms is turning into ash, and all Jaeon Myung-hoon can do is cry out miserably. No, no. And then, Jaeon Myung-hoon hears his lover's last words in his embrace. Golden Divine, Heavenly Thunder Sect, the person Jaeon Myung-hoon loves. Jin So-hae, the great-granddaughter of Jin Baek-ho and one of the promising talents of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect, trembles and manages to utter her last words to Jaeon Myung-hoon. Don't leave, please. With that, she turns into ash and begins to disperse. Jaeon Myung-hoon screams, trying to grasp Jin So-hae. But it is futile, her body scatters as dust and Jaeon Myung-hoon can only clutch at what remains and wails. And then, Jaeon Myung-hoon hears a voice amidst the rain of lightning. Whisper, whisper, whisper. It's the voice of the heavenly tribulation. The lightning is whispering to him. Repent, return, repent. What should he repent for? To whom should he return? He doesn't know, but in his pain and despair, Jaeon Myung-hoon listens to the lightning's whispers, his eyes wide open. Whisper, whisper, whisper. Among the words whispered by the lightning, something is giving him information. Ah, ah. He hears the voice of the tribulation, absorbing the tribulation and listening to the truths whispered by the tribulation. About the being that suddenly robbed him of his everyday life, the true immortal. Ah, Jaeon Myung-hoon despairs. He realizes what kind of being suddenly took everything from him. It will take all that he has, yet even if he gambles everything, it is something he can never reach. He is powerless. Receiving information about the true immortal through the lightning, he is also subjected to the gaze of the true immortal. Facing the malicious gaze of the true immortal, Jaeon Myung-hoon goes mad. In rage and despair, under the pain and the gaze of that great being, he loses his mind and screams. Ah, and finally, the seemingly eternal time of the heavenly tribulation ends. Huh, Jaeon Myung-hoon opens his eyes atop the ashes. This is. He looks around with hollow eyes. Ah, I see, he finally realizes. It must be a dream. Ha ha, to think, being betrothed to the daughter of an integration stage grand cultivator, what a ridiculous nightmare. But he discovers something in his hand. Ah, it's a hand, severely shriveled and twisted, a hand fried by lightning. Jaeon Myung-hoon recognizes whose hand it is. Ah, and he finally realizes once again this place is not a dream. It is reality. Ah, shivering, he cries, trembling, looking down at the shriveled and fried hand grasped in his own. It is Jin So-hae's hand. The lover he so cherished had vanished from this world, turning into ash and leaving behind only a single hand in his grasp. Screaming in agony, Jaeon Myung-hoon clutches his lover's hand to his chest, his eyes bloodshot. In the madness and pain of seeing the great being, he awakens anew. Ah, yes, I understand. He can clearly grasp one thing. I think I know what my fate is. Tears of blood streaming down, Jaeon Myung-hoon rises from the ashes and glares at the sky. Revenge, I must quench this fury. I have too. Having devoured the heavenly tribulation sent by the true immortal, he rapidly advanced from core formation to the heavenly being stage. Jaeon Myung-hoon laughs sinisterly. Anyone who interferes can be killed, right? Thus, Jaeon Myung-hoon, the lightning harbinger, was born atop the ashes. Chapter 212, The Clown and the Performance 1. Join the Discord for chapter updates donations. It's surreal. I feel as if I'm submerged in water, floating through a bizarre illusion. It's a strange space. The boundaries between colors are blurred, and at the same time, numerous pieces of knowledge, history, and futures seem to float around me. I float aimlessly here, grasping onto my dazed consciousness. I lost consciousness facing the heavenly tribulation that fell upon heavenly human island. But where am I now? As I try to regain consciousness and become aware of my surroundings, delicate, white, jade-like fingers caress my cheek. I express my gratitude to you. By uttering my name, you have allowed my Lord to find me more quickly, finally freeing me from the dreadful descendants of the golden deity. A soft voice. Someone with white hair and clothes made of lightning is stroking my head. You bear a fierce fate of heavenly tribulation. In recognition of your help, I shall bestow a blessing upon you. The entity whispers into my ear with a distant-sounding voice. And then, I feel something imbue itself into my very being as I lose consciousness along with the entity's whisper. Flash. .. I open my eyes. I am surrounded by ashes. From my last memory, I remember the heavenly lightning banner invoking some sort of judgment with the power of the true immortal, scattering heavenly tribulation everywhere. This is Certainly, it is the heavenly human island. But it's different from the heavenly human island I know of. There is nothing left. The once thriving headquarters of the human race has all turned to a handful of ashes floating away. Everyone walking the streets is. Throb. Grr. I clutch my head. Images flood my brain of people praying, transforming into lightning, vaporizing, and being sucked up into the sky. Return. 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 Ha. Hawk. Hawk. I scream, holding my head. Up until now, I have met true immortals a few times and even thought I could have a decent conversation with them. But at this very moment, I realize how arrogant, foolish, and naive that thought was. Return. Someone keeps whispering in my ear. Over and over. I want to kneel down and pray right then and there. Only that would bring relief. But, no, I barely control my body and stand up. Huff, huff. Cold sweat drips down. Encountering the other true immortals had been painful to recall, but recalling them didn't pose a burden in itself. Only now did I realize. It was all because I was facing merely avatars, or remnants of consciousness within a drop of blood. What I saw today was the true body. A true immortal revealing itself without any consideration for mortals is indescribably horrifying. Return. Ha, ha, I am startled by the voice echoing in my ears. Not just startled, but terrified. What is this? My fingertips flicker, shimmering with a blue light. It's electricity. The nature of lightning flickers at my fingertips. But it isn't just emitting spiritual energy with lightning properties. What terrifies me is that my fingertips are slowly transforming into electricity. Return. As the whispering continues, the range of the transformation slowly expands. Huff, huff. I sweat coldly, twisting a strained smile. Really, this life hasn't been easy. The fingertips transforming into lightning will disperse and vanish if not supplied with spiritual energy. I can feel it clearly. This lightning consuming my body will eventually devour even my nascent soul, completely turning me into lightning itself and scattering me. It isn't about becoming a spirit of lightning or evolving into another being. Literally, it's about returning to a more magnificent being as a streak of lightning. Merely cutting off my hand won't solve the problem. Return. As long as the whispers stay in my ears, even if I change bodies, this symptom will keep recurring. Will the whispering continue until my entire body and nascent soul is completely turned into lightning? It's absurd. What is terrifying is that this isn't necessarily done with malice by the true immortal. The target of the true immortal's malice was the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. I clearly remember the energy of heavenly tribulation flying towards the direction of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. The Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect was not to return to the true immortal but was to be reduced to ashes and perish entirely. Thus, this phenomenon isn't because the true immortal harbored malice and cursed me. It happened merely because I had directly gazed at the true immortal's true body, just once. When the true immortal first pushed its gigantic eyeball into the sky, that one brief glance that was less than a second. That one glance caused this phenomenon. Return. Out of nowhere, I've become terminally ill. Judging by the pace at which my fingertips are slowly being consumed, my lifespan is at most a year. At the shortest, around 100 days. Ha, 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 ha. Suddenly I burst into laughter, finding everything absurd. What in the world is this? Was it a mistake to choose Seoweol from the start? Nothing has been going right in this life. In the beginning, I was merely used by Seoweol. I vowed revenge and spent time in the lower realm, but being in the lower realm, I couldn't exert any significant influence. Even after coming back up, my plan to steal the heavenly lightning banner failed completely. Then, after checking the celestial energy and thinking there would be no problems, I carelessly called out a name and ended up with a terminal condition. Really, full of misfortune, I'm going insane. I sigh, looking at my fingertips that are fizzling and dispersing. What should I do? I have at most a year left with this terminal curse. Within that time, can I possibly achieve anything? No, before that, what should I do? I chuckle vacantly, discovering the secrets of the dragon race, including Seoweol and the Black Dragon King. Checking on Ohai Seo's situation. Stealing the heavenly lightning banner. All failed. I haven't achieved any of the goals I set for this life. So, what more should I do? What more can I do within this short, terminal life? Perhaps it's not so bad to just wait for death to come slowly. Yes, let's just comfortably give up like this. No, I shake my head at the voice that came from within. That's not it. What can I possibly do? No, that's not the question to ask. Don't question, stand up. Crack, Though I haven't achieved anything in this life. That doesn't mean it's worthless. It's a miserable life, but still, it's better than being a puppet of the Mad Lord. At least now my heart is beating, my body is moving, and I can act on my own will. Huff. Despite the despair of achieving nothing, despite living a life of repeated failures. Still, I am alive. Then, the very fact of being alive means I can do something. I shake off the shadows looming in my mind and stand up. Yes, there's still one thing left to do. Seo Waol's purpose, Ohai Seo's whereabouts, the theft of the heavenly lightning banner. Besides these, there is one more thing I aim to do. Seo Waol's marriage. More precisely, the promise I made to be a witness to the vast cold oath between Seo Waol and Yu Ryan. There is still an opportunity to keep that promise. Yu Beck still has the vast cold oath. That means, Yu Beck and Seo Waol still have unresolved issues between them. Witnessing how their relationship, their karma, ends. That task is still left for me to do. My life has been full of failures. It is also a life that will end in a year. Then, let's at least fulfill that promise within that remaining time. To the Earth Tribe territory. Let's go. I soar into the sky. To the Earth Tribe territory, let's settle their relationship. After all, a story started must be seen to its end. Thus, I decide to spend the last of my remaining life keeping my promise with Yu Ryan. And, somehow or another, I vow to give Seo Waol a piece of my mind within that final moment. I activate the teleportation array to the Light Spirit Pond in Heavenly Human Island. When dealing with a madman, one must become a madman. First off, I intend to meet the Mad Lord. Earth Tribe True Dragon Alliance. Near the Serving Command Arc, Cloud Heart Lake. Near that Cloud Heart Lake, a building inspired by the immortal demon tower of the Serving Command Arc is erected. The tower's core formation Realm Master, Ma Wan Demon Ape recruited musicians and dancers like the Demon Immortal Tower, and soon, 2 applicants appeared. What's your name? Yu Hua. And your specialty? I can play the zither. One is Yu Hua. She quickly passes the audition with her zither playing skills. Ma Wan was moved by Yu Hua's performance to the point of being stirred. Amazing. A great talent has come. With Yu Hua alone, my Demon Ape Pavilion can become a popular place among the nearby demon races like the Immortal Demon Tower. Filled with hope, Ma Wan accepts Yu Hua and then interviews the next applicant. What's your name? Yu Beck. And your specialty? Dancing. You're a bit terse. What are you going to do about it? Quote. The next applicant, Yu Beck, has a prickly personality, making it difficult for Ma Wan to handle. Judging by her appearance, she doesn't seem to have a spiritual vein, almost like a slave race. What makes her act like this in front of me, a core formation demon? Though taken aback by Yu Beck's attitude, Ma Wan decides to see her dance. Yu Hua may be excellent, but honestly, there are no other applicants besides these 2. I should at least check her skills. However, as soon as Yu Beck starts to move, Ma Wan exclaims in amazement. It's like watching a majestic dragon. Her movements are strictly those of dragon-formed soaring claw, but Ma Wan recognizes Yu Beck's martial arts as a dance due to her splendid movements. By the time Yu Beck's dance demonstration ends, Ma Wan has made up his mind. These 2 must be secured. Although Ma Wan is a core formation stage demon, he has a weak and frail body, unable to fight or work properly. Ordinary tower masters buy weaker races sold as slaves in the slave market and exploit their talents to run their establishments. However, Ma Wan, having not a spirit stone to his name, has to bring in employees instead of slaves. Do you have any desired salary conditions for joining my Demon Ape Pavilion? After accepting Yu Beck and Yu Hua, Ma Wan calls them to negotiate their wages. I intend to accommodate whatever demands as much as possible. After all, they're probably from slave races who haven't even reached chi gathering, let alone chi building, so they won't have big demands. From Ma Wan's perspective, they are almost free labor, so he speaks as if he will support them with anything to keep their spirits up. At that, Yu Beck looks at Ma Wan with a sullen gaze and asks. Do you have the means to meet those demands? Of course. Is there something you want? 100 caddies of high-grade clarity crystals, a bundle of top-quality demon fire grass, and at least mid-grade black essence fragrance are given as basics, right? Quote. What? These are items even slaves receive in Immortal Demon Tower. Don't they get provided here? No, wait. Setting aside clarity stones and demon fire grass, black essence fragrance is something you can't even get without being at the nascent soul stage. What exactly are you asking for? Can't you do even this? Yu Bek tilts his head, seemingly not understanding for a moment. Upon receiving a signal from Yuhua with her eyes, she sighs and nods. Fine, I'll drop my greed. Then, let's lower the standard a bit. For a while, Yu Bek and Ma Wen struggle to find a compromise. Damn, if it weren't for her fantastic dancing skills, I would have turned this slave race into pill right away. She wants too much considering she's just a slave. When Yu Ryan was alive, I lowered the standard to the treatment of the eastern beasts in front of Yu Ryan, and they can't even fulfill this. It's no different from the lower realms. I lowered the standard to what the slave races in the east of Yu Ryan's territory received when she was alive, and yet they can't even fulfill that. This is no different from the lower realms. The two demons, despite being dissatisfied with each other, reluctantly make a contract. Afterwards, Yuhua and Yu Bek head to the lodging assigned to them. I don't like this. After seeing her room, Yu Bek clicks her tongue and enters. Yuhua follows, laughing. To Miss Yu Bek, it may not be satisfactory. But for a poor core formation stage demon, this is quite a decent room. Don't act friendly, Heart Tribe. I've tolerated you because you were with Xiao Unyun, but I still find the existence of the Heart Tribe unpleasant. Oh my, now that Miss Yu Bek has also, albeit incompletely, entered the last quarter, you're officially a member of the Heart Tribe, are you not? HMPH. Yu Bek ignores Yuhua and enters the room, with Yuhua following her and continuing the conversation. I understand you don't like me, but have you made up your mind? Yu Bek sighs and sits at the table of the room assigned to her. Over the past month while returning from the Heaven-Earth Palace to the Earth Tribe territory, Yu Bek tried to sort out her feelings for Xiao Wei'ol. But her feelings for Xiao Wei'ol are still unclear. She despises him intensely, yet memories of deep affection are deeply missed. She has no clue how to deal with him. I don't know. Would you like to see him from a distance, at least? What if he recognizes me? It might be a bit cruel, Miss Yu Bek, but Xiao Wei'ol will not associate you with Yu Ryan when he sees you. What does that mean? Well, yes. Yu Ryan lets out a hollow laugh. The sturdy scales, powerful teeth, slender body, and even her cultivation. She has lost it all. Though the appearance of the transformed body is the same, that is it. If she covers her transformed body's appearance and looks from afar, Xiao Wei'ol will never recognize her. If I see him, can I sort out my feelings? She ponders for a moment, placing her hand on her stifling heart. It's uncertain. I'm not even sure if I can see Xiao Wei'ol sober. Perhaps she might rush at him in a frenzy the moment she sees his face. Eventually, after a brief consideration, Yu Ryan shakes her head. Forget it. I don't think I can control myself. That's so. Anyway, I also need to check on Xiao Wei'ol's situation and what happened to my disciple, so I'll go regardless. Yay, I have places to visit near the serving command arc anyway. Places to visit? Yu Bek shrugs. I might have taken a job in disguise near where Xiao Wei'ol lives, but honestly, I have no intention of really dancing and singing in such a place. There are a few resources around serving command arc suitable for core formation stage cultivators, so I'm going to retrieve them. Well, I enjoy playing music, so it doesn't matter how long I stay here. Alright then. After all, the more resources, the better. As she's about to leave Yu Bek's room with a smile, Yuhua suddenly feels something odd and looks back at Yu Bek. But, Miss Yu Bek wouldn't even consider anything less than nascent soul stage materials like black essence fragrance. Why did Miss Yu Ryan store merely core formation stage materials near serving command arc when she was alive? Yu Bek answers nonchalantly. It wasn't me who stored them. Excuse me. There was a pet demon beast that Xiao Unyun was raising. He was looking for cultivation resources for it, so I gave him some suitable core formation stage resources. I heard the location from Xiao Unyun, so if I go there, I should find them. Taoist Xiao raising a pet demon beast is unexpected. He claimed it wasn't a pet but a friend, but well, given the difference in their cultivation, it's pretty much a pet. Xiao Unyun left it near serving command arc before we fell to the lower realm. I wonder if it has reached Qi building by now. A friend? What species is that demon beast? At Yuhua's question, Yu Bek seems to think for a moment. It seemed like some kind of longworm, a centipede, I think. That should be right, and Xiao Unyun named it, if I remember correctly, Hong Fan. Great plan. Chapter 213, The Clown and the Performance 2. Join the Discord for chapter updates, donations. Whoosh. Cutting through the vast mountain ranges and forests of the True Dragon Alliance, a figure is flying through the air, stepping on the void. It's Yu Beck. Flying through the air is not as difficult as I thought. It's just a matter of adding a bit more skill to the gliding technique that is in Yu Ryan's memories. Seo Eun-yun was surprised that Yu Beck had an unexpected talent, but from Yu Beck's perspective, it was nothing more than a rehabilitation exercise. Yu Ryan, who was supposed to become a Dragon King of the integration stage, died, and the remnant that is Yu Beck isn't even at the level of a core formation stage of the Heart Tribe, which honestly did not please her. If there is such a thing as talent, why can't I even enter the realm of Beyond the Path? From Yu Beck's standpoint, it's shameful that she, with her experience nearing the integration stage, cannot even reach the realm corresponding to the core formation stage of the Heart Tribe. Just as the saying goes, at the extremes, enlightenment is shared, she thought that to some extent, her experiences would resonate with the realm of the Heart Tribe. Indeed, up to the ultimate pinnacle that Seo Eun-yun mentioned, Yu Ryan's experiences were applicable. However, from the realm of Beyond the Path to Heavens onwards, it was infuriatingly incomprehensible. She couldn't understand what was being said. Somehow, by using the vast cold oath, she managed to half-step into Beyond the Path to Heavens, but that was applicable only when facing Seo Wei-oh. She realized she could not reach the realm of Beyond the Path. Do I have to yearn and yearn again? She is indeed yearning, but whether Yu Beck is yearning out of hatred for Seo Wei-oh or out of love for him, she cannot tell. She is yearning, but she doesn't know for what. That's why she can't reach the realm of Beyond the Path. The manifestation of the Heart Tribe is just too alien. While there are aspects that resonate with the enlightenment of the Heaven and Earth tribes, the manifestation of the Heart Tribe is far too irregular compared to the specific rules of the Heaven and Earth tribes' methods. Even Yu Hua and Seo Eun-yun, masters of the Heart Tribe, said they had never seen someone create a treading heavens that only worked for one person using the vast cold oath. The heaven collapsing esteemed one had seen it once or twice, but when she asked for an explanation, he said the situation was too different for Yu Beck and refused to explain. There are no rules to it and it's too alien. Indeed, even when she was Yu Ryan, she thought of the Heart Tribe as such alien beings. Just too alien. Yu Beck, when she was a prospective Dragon King in the times of Yu Ryan, knew one fact about the Heaven, Earth, and Heart Tribes, and true immortals. There are Heaven Immortals corresponding to the Heaven Tribe and Earth Immortals, that is, immortal beasts corresponding to the Earth Tribe. However, there was nothing like that for the Heart Tribe. She had never heard of any existence at the level of true immortals corresponding to the Heart Tribe. Even more astonishing was that, when she was young, she met a sacred master of the Sacred Vessel stage. Even Sacred Master Baek Woon did not know what true immortals corresponding to the Heart Tribe are called, or whether they exist or not. It's as if they didn't originally exist, but then someone forcibly inserted them into the flow of history. Too bizarre. Thinking this, Yu Beck continued to air step, heading towards the resource warehouse of Seo Eun-yun's pet demon beast. Swoosh. A while later, Yu Beck arrived in front of a large waterfall near the serving command arc. The waterfall was neatly divided into white and black streams falling down, with a dark cave faintly visible behind it. This place holds the stored resources. Since the other members of the Golden Dragon race had come and collected the resources and her belongings after Yu Ryan died, she had no choice but to search for this resource warehouse for Seo Eun-yun's pet demon beast. Of course, if I go to the Golden Dragon race I could be recognized as Yu Ryan and treated as a member of the dragon race. A 4-axis stage cultivator can be resurrected once, or in a few special cases, more than twice. This does not refer to those who have some remnants of their nascent soul or golden core left but to those who have truly died, their nascent souls collapsed. Of course, resurrection after the nascent soul had collapsed meant reviving at a stage lower than nascent soul. Still, being able to resurrect and accumulate cultivation again is enough for those at the 4-axis stage and above to be treated as formidable beings. Some demon races do not resurrect after death because they missed the proper time for resurrection or do not wish to be resurrected. Yet, there are exceptions. Despite not wanting to resurrect, those with a desire for life or unresolved resentment sometimes had parts of their spirit resurrected, thanks to the immense life force of a 4-axis stage cultivator. They were commonly referred to as fragments, or by the derogatory term, leftovers. This is because they are beings born not from an official resurrection but from the obsession of a 4-axis cultivator, and thus often resurrected in a body incapable of proper cultivation. How these remnants are treated varies by race, depending on whether they are honored as the 4-axis cultivator they once were or simply as remnants. The Golden Dragon clan, which Yu Ryan belongs to, is a race that accords the same respect to leftovers as to the 4-axis stage cultivator themselves due to the significant amount of the cultivator's memories they retain. Therefore, when a leftover is born within the Golden Dragon clan, they are often given the role of teaching the young dragons, assigning them many duties. Yu Beck, too, would likely have been honored in this way. But she does not want that. Even if she wanted to, if Xiao Wei'ol found out she had resurrected in the form of a leftover, he would come to kill her. First, I'll meet Xiao Wei'ol again someday. Meet Xiao Wei'ol again, settle her feelings properly, and face the end. Whether to strike Xiao Wei'ol or to quietly meet death at his hands. That is what Yu Beck wants. And for that, she has to find and eat even the feed for Xiao Unyun's pet demon beast. I don't expect to achieve much with just core formation stage elixir, but at least I can elevate my spiritual meridians to the chi building stage and circulate pure spiritual force within my body. Just being able to circulate pure spiritual force within her body will allow her a significant increase in strength. Of course, she finds it laughable that she is struggling to obtain the power of the chi building stage which she could have crushed with her toe before. But what can she do? She decides not to think about whether it's funny or not and searches the cave. Xiao Unyun said he placed a barrier around here. She gropes around for the barrier Xiao Unyun supposedly set up. Soon, she notices a place where the flow of spiritual energy twists. Even though she has become a leftover, the vision of the Earth tribe remains. She follows the flow of spiritual energy and launches a strike. Bo-wong. As she slashes through the air, the strike from her hand touches the weakest part of the spiritual energy flow, dismantling the barrier. She sighs slightly as she looks at a few insect feed pellets, several tens of kilograms of spirit stones, and core formation stage spiritual herbs and fruits in front of her. He said he filled it a lot, but it's not much. The resources are laughably scant. If she had been presented with these resources during her time as Yu Ryan, she would have considered it an insult. But she decides to be grateful for even this much and picks up one of the nearby spiritual fruits to eat. That's when it happens. Ta-da-da-da-da. A strange sound echoes and something enters the cave. Yu Beck tenses up and glares at the newcomer. Soon after, it reveals itself. It's a centipede large enough to fill the interior of the cave. The centipede's eyes meet with Yu Beck's. They look at each other for a moment, and just as Yu Beck ponders whether to attack the centipede or not, words come out of the centipede's mouth. Who is Miss to be stealing from someone else's warehouse? The tone is unexpectedly polite. So you are an acquaintance of Master. Quote. Yu Beck came out of the cave and sat down to talk with the giant centipede, Hong Fan. Surprisingly, Hong Fan readily believed Yu Beck's words and nodded. If you are an acquaintance of Master, you are always welcome. Feel free to take anything you want. Anyway, these items haven't been of much use to me since I reached the core formation stage. Core formation. Yu Beck looks up at Hong Fan and asks. The last time I saw you as a baby, you had just reached the early stages of chi refining. You remember my childhood, so you must be a long-time acquaintance of Master. Well, you could say that. But to think that centipede reached the core formation stage in just a few decades. Yu Beck looks at the centipede demon beast in front of her with astonishment. However, the centipede demon beast just laughs heartily, as if unaware of Yu Beck's bewildered feelings. It's nothing special. I possess a magic artifact that enhances the spiritual nature within my body. With the help of an external divine object, it's only natural. Swoosh. The centipede wriggles its many legs, and after a while, pulls out a long pipe from between its carapaces. It's a magic artifact called the Immortal Demon Bamboo. Just one inhale enhances spirituality and improves the qualities of a demon race. Master gave me this magic artifact. Immortal Demon Bamboo. Yu Beck is startled as she watches Hong Fan sucking on the Immortal Demon Bamboo. It is an item she recognizes. As far as I know, that magic artifact helps demon beasts condense their spirituality, but continuous use can lead to toxicity and death by poisoning, which is why its production was banned a long time ago. Yes, I have a strong resistance to poison because it doesn't affect me at all. Whoosh. Hong Fan sucks on the bamboo pipe, inhales the smoke, then exhales it again while laughing heartily. Yu Beck, watching Hong Fan, is puzzled. With your capabilities, you could have easily escaped any restrictions Xiao Unyun might have placed and find your freedom. What kind of loyalty keeps you serving Xiao Unyun? Whoosh. Laughing, Hong Fan smokes from the pipe again. You misunderstand. Master hasn't placed any restrictions on me. It's my choice to call and serve him as my master. Quote. My earliest memory is of naturally climbing onto Master's body, and he accepted me. The exhilarating memories of ascension with Master are still deeply engraved in my mind. Is it simply because Seo Eun-yun took care of you since you were young? No, around the time I gained spirituality and intelligence, I realized my fate. Quote. I was born to assist and protect Master. I felt that was my fate. The Earth tribe felt fate. Even during the chi refining stage. It might be hard to believe, but it's true. That's unique. Does Seo Eun-yun know about this? How could he? Master suddenly went missing during my chi refining stage. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Master for decades. Where is Master, and what has he been doing? Quote. Faced with Hong Fan's peculiar stream of thought, Yu Bek feels a sense of oddity. I can't understand this Earth tribe demon beast talking about fate during the chi refining stage. And he still follows Seo Weil, whom he hasn't seen in decades, and calls him Master. Yu Bek finds the centipede demon beast, Hong Fan, quite extraordinary. When Seo Eun-yun returns to the Earth tribe territory, I'll make sure he explains where he's been. Anyway, Yu Bek points to the cave and asks. Seo Eun-yun mentioned that this cave was originally filled with core formation stage spirit fruits and herbs. Did you eat them? Yes, that's correct. Thanks to Master, I've never lacked cultivation resources. That Seo Eun-yun, did he tell you how to disable the barrier before he left? No, I observed the flow of the barrier and figured out how to dismantle the formation myself. You figured out how to dismantle the formation yourself? As Yu Bek converses with Hong Fan, she is convinced. This guy has tremendous talent. Hong Fan is a genius. Yu Bek can't help but be certain of this as she talks with him. 2 months passes. After meeting Hong Fan, Yu Bek consumed the spirit medicines prepared by Seo Eun-yun for Hong Fan and recovered her pure spiritual force. Meanwhile, Ma Won was preparing to open the pavilion, and Yu Hua had been investigating Seo Weil's movements and the overall situation of the Earth tribe. During this time, Seo Eun-yun finally returned. It's been a while. Yes, did you manage to accomplish what you intended to do in the human race territory? Quote. Not very well, but there were some achievements. Oh, and I'd like to introduce someone. Behind Seo Eun-yun, a small, winged figure follows. Chapter 214, The Clown and the Performance 3. Join the Discord for chapter updates donations. I introduce Yu Hua and Yu Bek to the companion who came with me. Click, click, click. It's a puppet of the Mad Lord. The puppet, resembling the Mad Lord and at the nascent soul stage with bee wings on its back, is something I had seen in a previous life when I was chased by the Mad Lord and committed suicide. The puppet, clicking beside me for a while, suddenly starts biting its own arm like crazy and begins to rave. Seo Weil, Seo Weil, Seo Weil, where are you? Where is Seo Weil? Where is Seo Weil? Seo Weil, Seo Weil, Seo Weil, so Weil, so Weil. Seeing the suddenly raving puppet, Yu Bek frowns. What is this unpleasant toy? It's not a toy. This is. I point at the puppet shouting for Seo Weil. A communication network directly connected to Seo Weil's archenemy. Seo Weil's archenemy? Yes. Let me introduce you. This person is known as Mad Lord Zhou Yian, a puppeteer cultivator who Seo Weil most dreaded before he ascended in the lower realm. Yu Bek shows little reaction, but Yu Hua, on the other hand, jumps back in shock. Mad Lord Zhou Yian. The one with a notorious reputation not only in the Earth tribe but also in the Heaven tribe territory. It seems that after arriving in the Earth tribe territory, Yu Hua had looked into the recent trends of the Earth tribe and the situation in the bright cold realm, including information about the Mad Lord. Yu Hua, while fearful of the infamous Mad Lord's reputation, seems intrigued by the artificial soul contained in the puppet, unable to take her eyes off the Mad Lord's puppet. I have gone through great lengths to persuade the esteemed Mad Lord to face Seo Weil, securing his assistance for this time. However, he moves as he pleases, so we couldn't set a date. But the Mad Lord will come to the Earth tribe territory in 103 days from now and start bombing Seo Weil's location at Cloudheart Lake. Quote. Upon hearing my words, Yu Hua seems interested while Yu Bek has a complicated expression. Then, let's plan how to lure Seo Weil and trap him in the remaining 103 days. Sounds good. Let's do that. Thus, Yu Hua, Yu Bek, and I started planning against Seo Weil together. After the meeting, I left the pavilion. By now, the sky has turned to night. Sigh. After seeing Yu Hua and Yu Beck and having an intense meeting, I finally sigh, feeling relieved from the crisis. I really thought I was going to be modified. The Mad Lord was surprisingly logical. It's just that his logic is that of a madman's, not quite fitting with the world. He's a cultivator who would listen to anything as long as it aligns well with his mad logic. Oh ho, what's this? To come to my wonderfully mysterious fortress on his own, what do you think, my dear? This fellow has come on his own seeking an opportunity for evolution, as long as it's possible, let it be a splendid. Greetings, esteemed Mad Lord. I have come to make a proposal. Let's see, you said your name is Seo Un-yun, correct? General Seo, Prince Seo, Duke Seo, choose whichever you like. Does Sir perhaps know that Dragon King Seo has found a lover? I am preparing to marry off Seo Whale this time. If the wedding proceeds and he becomes a husband to the person he loves, perhaps even Seo Whale, with his filthy heart essence, might become a slightly better being, don't you think? What? The Dragon King is about to get married. I invite you to the wedding, Sir Mad Lord, to come and help Seo Whale become husband and wife with his loving partner. Seo Whale, so Whale is getting married. Thin of course I'll have to help. Finally found someone. Hello's very good. Delighted at the thought of personally marrying off Seo Whale, the Mad Lord agreed to come to the Earth Tribe territory on the set day to assist with Seo Whale's wedding ceremony. Then, let us meet on that day. Communication can be done through this puppet. Also, I have always admired the Mad Lord's puppetry, so I would like to learn from the Sir's disciple. Could you permit your disciple to accompany me until the day of the event? Sir Mad Lord, You, while talking about Seo Whale, cunningly pushed the conversation about your own evolution to the back. So, which one will you choose among General Seo, Prince Seo, and Duke Seo? I will borrow the disciple. From now on, let's communicate through this puppet. After that, I managed to escape from the Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious fortress with Kim Yeon and somehow made it to the Earth Tribe territory. Fortunately, by keeping in touch with the Mad Lord through the stolen puppet and exchanging opinions, the Mad Lord was indeed determined to personally oversee Seo Whale's marriage in 103 days. We've succeeded in drawing in the Mad Lord, so what remains is for us to plan and extract what we want from Seo Whale. Now, it's just a matter of coordinating what each of us wants. With that thought in mind, I approach someone standing far away, gazing at the distant moon while dressed in a light pink palace attire next to the Demon Ape Pavilion. It's Kim Yeon. Yeon, aren't you cold? Let's go inside. I had succeeded in rescuing Kim Yeon from the Mad Lord's grasp. However, the state of Kim Yeon is strange. Her consciousness had retreated back into her skull and would not come out. Her eyes are dull and cloudy, and she does not speak a word. She continuously plays with small puppet toys in front of her, manipulating them for her amusement. Decades. The result of leaving Yeon in the Mad Lord's care and neglecting her for decades. Kim Yeon has developed mental issues again. It was beyond my control not to contact her in this life because of Seo Whale, but that's all just an excuse. Even under Seo Whale, if I had thought harder, there might have been a way to contact her. The distance was too far to use mysterious bizarre GU, and to communicate over that distance would require a ritual, which is why I left her alone for too long to avoid arousing Seo Whale's suspicion. I sit next to Kim Yeon, who resists going inside, and watch her play with the puppet toys for a while. After some time, she leans tiredly against my shoulder and falls asleep. I gently embrace her with one arm. Crackle, crackle. Suddenly, I see the tips of my fingers turning into electricity and vaporizing. The remaining time, 103 days. It's possible that my whole body could vaporize within that short period. Let's make it a goal to awaken Kim Yeon within that time. If I continue to speak to her heart essence through the Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace, perhaps it might be possible. I pick up the peacefully sleeping Kim Yeon and enter the temporary shelter I made nearby. Afterward, I come back outside the shelter to greet a guest who is waiting for me. Welcome, Hong Fan, I ask, looking at the giant centipede that has grown much larger than I remembered. The feeling of intent is definitely that of Hong Fan. But the creature has grown unexpectedly large. Have you been well in the meantime, Master? Yeah you are. I hesitate for a moment, observing Hong Fan emitting the energy of the core formation stage. Have you reached the core formation stage? Yes, that's correct. I was able to reach this realm using the resources you left in the storeroom, Master. How did you open the storeroom? Decades ago, I had never taught Hong Fan, who had the consciousness level of a 3 or 4-year-old child, how to undo the barriers on the storeroom. I dismantled the formation and went in. It was easy. I mutter to myself, realizing the extent of Hong Fan's capabilities. This creature is a genius. Before its intellect awakened, I just thought of it as a mere centipede, but after awakening, it turns out to be such a tremendous genius. I might even fall behind Hong Fan in cultivation if I'm not careful. So, what brings you here? Since you've arrived, Master, it's natural that I come to see you. No, besides that, I'm not your master. It'd be better if you address me properly. Just call me Seo Unyun. How could I do that to you, Master? From the first day I saw Master, it was my fate to live for you. Please allow me to serve you as my master. What is this all about? Setting aside the Earth tribe's ability to see fate, it's almost impossible for the Heaven tribe to look into their own fate so precisely. In short, Hong Fan's words are not really about seeing into fate but rather a metaphor, indicating how much he wants to serve me. No, but why suddenly serve me? Of course, I am perplexed. Because of the serving command seal. Thinking about it, the serving command seal, which brings fortune, chose Hong Fan. In a way, Hong Fan can be considered a source of fortune for me. Is it simply because we met through the fortune of the serving command seal? That seems to be the only explanation for now. Alright, later, if you're still serving me, please tell me a more proper reason. I have told you already. Well, if I find such a reason later, I'll let you know. Is that why you came to see me today? That, and I also wanted to ask where Master have been all this time and what happened. It's going to be a bit of a long story. Alright, I sat next to Hong Fan and told him about various things. About being betrayed along with Yu Ryan by Seo Weol and falling to the lower world. How I somehow achieved ascension again in the lower world along with Yu Beck, the fragment of Yu Ryan. How I went to the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect and met a true immortal. Crackling, I raise one hand and say, and that's how my hand ended up like this. How could that be? Hong Fan looks at my fingertips. And at the fluttering other arm, he sighs with a gulp. That's right, already, my left hand has completely vaporized into electricity and scattered, and my right hand is also starting to vaporize from the fingertips. I am already dying. Return. The whisper of the true immortal still echoes in my ears. Master, you must not pass away. What can I do? It's the price for daring to steal a glance at the true immortal's jade body. Well, think of it positively. At least through the heavenly lightning banner, I received what you could call a blessing from the true immortal. Though this state is almost like a curse, my affinity for the lightning attribute significantly increases while being eroded by lightning. Return. Every time this ridiculous whisper echoes, my body vaporizes into lightning. It's a frightening and terrifying experience, but there are also fascinating aspects. Return. When the whispering stops and my body transforms back from lightning, at the same time, I gain knowledge about lightning. Literally, overcoming the whispers, I come to understand the nature of lightning, the principles of forming lightning. The basis of lightning cultivation methods, the principles behind lightning attribute techniques, and so on. Interesting. The whispers seem to be knowledge itself. In exchange for becoming terminally ill from witnessing the true immortal's true form, I have gained the enlightenment of lightning. 103 days left. Hoping that my body will not be completely consumed within that time, I look at the moon. Chapter 215, The Clown and the Performance 4. Join the Discord for chapter updates donations. Time flows quickly, and before we know it, there are only 50 days left until the arrival of the Mad Lord. Then, let's summarize the plan we have devised so far. In front of Yu Hua and Yu Beck, I begin to outline the plan we had devised, detailing everyone's roles and what each of us wants to achieve. First, Yu Hua wants to confirm the status of Beck Nyung and rescue him. And if possible, she also wants to rescue the white goat race and escape. Is that correct? Yes. And Miss Yu Beck, you need time to meet with Seo Weol and talk, correct? Yes. In that case, we must first isolate Seo Weol from the Sea Dragon Palace and others to eliminate the possibility of him receiving any support. Once we separate Seo Weol from the Sea Dragon Palace, Yu Hua will infiltrate to find Beck Nyung and the White Goat race, and Miss Yu Beck and I will go to find Seo Weol. That's the essence of our plan. Now, to execute the plan. Once the Mad Lord appears in 50 days, Seo Weol will want to be as far away from the Mad Lord as possible. At this point, the Mad Lord is, frankly, a being that even Hyaonium, the Black Dragon King at the Grand Perfection integration stage, would struggle to defeat. In a past life, although Kim Yeon struggled against the Black Dragon King Hyaonium with the Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious fortress and puppets, that was only because of the foot of the star-shattering stage esteemed one. Even the Black Dragon King, with extensive combat experience at the pinnacle of the integration stage, was pushed back by the puppets controlled by Kim Yeon. Then, even more so, then puppets controlled by the Mad Lord who has extensive experience as a puppeteer can definitely face 4 or more cultivators at the integration stage. In short, the moment Seo Whale catches the Mad Lord's eye, Seo Whale will be well on his way to becoming a Grand Prince. Seo Whale is very aware of that fact and will try to stay as far away from the Mad Lord as possible. Knowing Seo Whale, he will also know that the Black Dragon King's residence will not be safe from the Mad Lord. Hence, he will try to hide in a place where many other Earth Tribe Grand Cultivators of the integration stage gather. If there's such a place near Cloud Heart Lake, there's only one. Serving Command Arc. Seo Whale will try to hide inside the Serving Command Arc. Then, we just need to execute our respective plans during that opportunity. Yuhua will go to the Sea Dragon Palace to check on the White Goat Race and Baekmyung's situation. Miss Yu Beck and I will head to the Serving Command Arc to find Seo Whale. Yuhua also said she wants to give Seo Whale a piece of her mind, so she will probably come back to join us after rescuing Baekmyung. Then, together with Yuhua, we'll strike Seo Whale with her 3rd stage manifestation. By doing so, Seo Whale will inevitably have to face Yuhua's heavenly tribulation when he reaches the next stage. And I, too, will show Seo Whale something interesting. I've prepared a secret technique that can smack the back of Seo Whale's head hard. All we need to do is get Seo Whale to a place where he cannot receive any help. How can we lead Seo Whale into such a place? It's impossible to lure Seo Whale with bait. Seo Whale will definitely not move alone. Probably even if he hides in the Serving Command Arc, he will move with at least dozens of peers or higher stage demon beasts. But even if Seo Whale cannot be moved, others can be made to move. This is where Yuhua is needed. She will reveal her presence on the lowest floor of the Serving Command Arc. If the other Earth Tribe members notice the presence of Yuhua, a manifestation 3rd stage expert of the Heart Tribe, they will be enraged and head to the lowest floor of the Serving Command Arc to capture her. Yuhua, with the record of transcending cultivation and exhausting martial arts, will hide her presence on the lowest floor of the Serving Command Arc and escape smoothly. Of course, Seo Whale, sensing something amiss, might leave some behind, but I have prepared Yuan Yu for them. Yuan Li, the original body of Yuan Yu, was originally a devilish cultivator prepared to ascend to the Blood Yin realm. In short, the devilish arts Yuan Yu mastered, such as the Blood Demon Suppressing Sea Light and Blood Chain Binding Forest, are very similar to the energy of the heavenly fiends of the Blood Yin realm. That means other cultivators remaining with Seo Whale can be sent off with a heavenly fiend of the Blood Yin realm as bait. Of course, Seo Whale might follow the decoy Yuan Yu, but I have prepared a secret move to ensure Seo Whale cannot move. If this measure is activated, Seo Whale will definitely have to stay in place. And when Seo Whale is completely alone, Yuhua, Yu Beck, and I will surround Seo Whale, leaving him no chance to escape. After giving Miss Yu Beck and Seo Whale a chance to talk, Yuhua and I will inflict a fatal wound on Seo Whale. This is the strategy we've devised. Is there anything else you think we should add or remove? There's nothing more on a large scale. Now let's move into the details, like how to figure out which floor of the Serving Command Arc Seo Whale will hide in, and so on. We thus delve into the finer details, organizing the branches of the plan. Whoosh. After today's meeting ended, I returned to my residence, briefly restrained Kim Yeon so she couldn't struggle, and then used Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace. Swoosh. A galaxy sword seems to fly towards her, then enters into her heart essence. The strike containing my nascent soul enters into her mental world, traveling within her inner self. Moving in and out of her inner self, my goal is to gradually awaken her with my call. Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace seemed to be effective, as Yeon's eyes, which had been cloudy, began to clear. Her condition is improving. At this rate, it seems possible to reunite with her before the ceremonial day arrives. I hope, before this life ends, I can meet you again. I sigh softly to myself as I look at my right arm, now vanished up to the elbow. At this pace, I might not have any limbs remaining by the ceremony day. My death is drawing near. After using the Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace, I tiredly look up at the sky. Whirring, a swarm of tiny fly puppets are flying through the air. Literally, they are fly-shaped General COs. I mass-produced these miniature General COs and sent them all around the serving command arc. Since the serving command arc is vast, spreading a surveillance network with these puppets in advance will allow us to quickly ascertain where CO Whale moves when executing the plan. The small mass-produced General COs spread out all around the serving command arc. As the ceremony day approaches, Yu Beck's expression becomes more complicated, and Yu Hua spends even more time gnashing her teeth. Every day until the ceremony day, I use the Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace on Kim Yi to bring her consciousness to the surface. Hong Fan, saying he will make something helpful for me, continues to gather various herbs, spiritual herbs, and poisonous herbs to concoct something. Now, the mini General COs are scattered all around the serving command arc, settled into many of the structures within. In this way, they will become my faithful eyes and ears, guiding me to wherever CO Whale might flee. Whirring, I move the small generals to scout the serving command arc, investigating any terrain that might aid or conversely harm CO Whale. I also gather information by eavesdropping on the Earth Tribe's rumors with the mini generals. After several days, while controlling the small generals, I hear through rumors that there are hidden spaces throughout the serving command arc. Hidden spaces. If such places exist, they will be perfect for CO Whale to hide. It's best if I find them quickly. I begin to lay the Mad Lord's circuits remotely through the small generals in places within the serving command arc suspected to contain hidden spaces. As the circuits are laid out, areas with hidden spaces block the connection of the circuits because there is no space for the circuits to pass. Where there is no space, there are many paths for the circuits to pass, smoothly laying out the Mad Lord's circuits. In this way, I discover over 20,000 hidden spaces on each floor of the serving command arc. It's astonishing. Luckily, I have the miniature General COs. If I didn't have the ability to create General COs, I would have had to suffer, searching through the enormous 120,000 hidden spaces by hand. Although it isn't possible to discover all spaces at once with the miniature generals, I sequentially send the mini General COs deeper a little at a time, entering into the spaces to identify the hidden ones. As everyone makes their efforts, the ceremony day gradually approaches. Master, please take this. I take what Hong Fan is offering. What is this? What Hong Fan handed over is a bottle containing a blue liquid. I slightly sniff the liquid and frown. It's poison. Yes, it's made from poisonous herbs. What kind of poison is it? It's a poison that amplifies pain. It doesn't just affect the nerves. The spiritual power within the poison stimulates the soul, causing the consciousness to also feel pain. A single drop can amplify the sensitivity to pain by more than 60,000 times for a brief period. I mobilized all my talent to create this poison. ... I see. Did you make this for me to use? Yes. Anyone who gets even a drop of this poison on their skin will be in so much pain that they would rather die, their mind almost leaving them. But what about its lethality? It has almost no lethality. It's made solely to inflict pain. Good. This will be very helpful to me. I realize that this poison is the answer Hong Fan had come up with after hearing about our last operation, deducing a plan to deal with CO Whale after he has been isolated. With this poison, even CO Whale's soul will be momentarily shaken. I carefully store the poison that Hong Fan had mixed in my pocket. This poison will be handy when needed. And so, the day before the Mad Lord arrives to carry out the operation. PSSHT. By now, both of my arms have vaporized into electricity, and my lower half has disappeared. Soon, my whole body will vaporize, and I will die. Of course, since the formless sword is moving inside my clothes in place of my arms and legs, it appears as though there is no issue outwardly. Just one day left. Finally, tomorrow, my minor counterattack against CO Whale begins. Just as I think so. Wait. While checking the hidden spaces in the serving command arc through the mass-produced miniature General COs, I stop one in a particular hidden space and make it illuminate the interior. Wait. I stand up abruptly from my seat. The vision technique attached to the General's eye transmits its sight to me, illuminating the inside of the hidden space. Ignoring everything else, I hurriedly fly to the serving command arc. Since my face can be recognized, I reverse the blood body skin armor and change my appearance using a technique unique to Yuan Yu, then quickly head to the space discovered by the mini General CO. That place is on the 7th floor of the serving command arc. Directly below the deck of Serving Command Arc, the life floor that handles the administration of the entire True Dragon Alliance, I reveal the aura of the dragon race after covering my skin with scales so that others don't find me strange. Thump, it's a familiar place. The 7th floor of the Serving Command Arc. The place I first visited in the Serving Command Arc with Co Whale after my regression. That day, in front of the administrative building, I had explored the market while trying to avoid Co Whale's eyes. So, it was like this. Standing in front of the administrative building, I feel the hidden space inside and let out a hollow laugh. Oh hi, CO is inside there. On my first day at the True Dragon Alliance. While I went to the market to look at the Demon Beast market, Co Whale pretended to work in the administrative area and hid Oh hi CO in a hidden space on the life floor inside the Serving Command Arc. That's why she couldn't be found no matter how much I searched the Sea Dragon Palace. I step into the administrative district to check whether Oh hi CO is still alive. Chapter 216, The Clown and the Performance 5. Join the Discord for chapter updates donations. Step. As I enter the administrative building, a few members of the Earth tribe, recognizing me as part of the dragon race, bow and approach. Is there something the Sir Dragon is looking for? Move aside, I'll find it myself. Yes. Adopting the appearance of the black dragon race and putting on as irritable a face as possible, I create an atmosphere that makes it difficult for others to approach. Reading my mood, the Earth tribe members bow and move away. Let's see. I walk inside the administrative building, towards a corridor where the symbols of each of the 13 major races are displayed. Beyond this corridor, there is a separate administrative area just for the 13 major races. At a fork in the corridor, I take the path marked with the symbol of the dragon race. Beyond here, only members of the dragon race are allowed. I activate the black dragon's true blood even more strongly and head down the path marked with the symbol of the dragon race known for handling the yin attribute. From here on, only members of the black dragon race, or perhaps the sea dragon race or water dragon race, can enter. And the space discovered by the small general soul is right here. Walking down the corridor, I touch one of the black dragon symbols engraved in the stone corridor. Injecting the power of the black dragon's true blood, my hand suddenly sinks into the black dragon symbol. As expected, it's a barrier shaped like a wall. I successfully enter the hidden space by passing through the barrier. Step. After walking down the passageway leading to the hidden space for a while. Descending the stairs down and down, I arrive at a rather spacious area. Judging by the distortion of the space, it seems to be a compressed space, revealing a considerably large site. Flash. The spirit stone embedded in the ceiling emits light like sunlight, making it feel as though it's broad daylight. It's the size of Gu Ryan's cotton farm. I am amazed at the immense size of the area. The area utilizes the light emitted from the ceiling to grow grass, forming a meadow. There are cool streams flowing throughout the meadow, and trees that emit pleasant fragrances are growing. And in the center of the meadow, there is a large manor. Inside the manor, there are several houses with elegantly tiled roofs, and the presence of one person can be felt inside. I slowly approach the manor. Surprisingly, there are no barriers or prohibitions around it. Ah, I see, I realize as I approach the manor. The closer I got to the manor, specifically to the person making noise inside it, the more the flow of yin and yang becomes chaotic. The heaven and earth spiritual energy is swirling and entangling so much that it's likely impossible to install prohibitions or barriers. Just as I arrive in front of the manor. Tap. Sounds come from inside the manor, and I feel someone running towards this direction. Simultaneously, the doors of the manor burst open, and a familiar face pops out. Is Sir Co Whale here? It's Oh hi CO. Greetings. And, I greet my old colleague, whom I am meeting after a long time, rather stiffly. I was sent here by Sir Co Whale. Oh, by Sir Co Whale. Please, come in. Upon hearing Co Whale's name, Oh hi CO smiles broadly and invites me into the manor. I follow her into a large mansion. Ma'am, a guest sent by Sir Co Whale has arrived. Yes, miss. I'll prepare. I frown as I observe a middle-aged lady welcoming Oh hi CO in the mansion and the workers bustling about the place. Without any prohibitions or barriers, from the outside, it definitely seemed like there was only Oh hi CO's presence. But upon entering, there are numerous people inside. I immediately recognize their identities and frown. They're Jiangshi. They are all Jiangshi that emit the scent of human flesh. In other words, they are Jiangshi made from real human corpses. A creepy mansion, indeed. I take a deep breath as I observe the well-maintained yet unsettling underside of the mansion. The middle-aged lady kindly smiles and leads me to the inner house. Shortly after in the inner house, I am able to face Ohaiseo. What did Sir Seo Waol tell you? Usually, he would come and talk in person. Sir Seo Waol asked me to check if Miss Haiseo is doing well. Oh, really? Yes. Question mark. What's going on? I sense something odd while reading Ohaiseo's intent but continue to question her. Have you been experiencing any discomforts in your daily life? None at all. Sir Seo Waol takes care of everything for me. She's lying. Are you feeling unwell, or are there any concerns about your health? Not at all. I'm perfectly healthy. She's lying. Are you feeling mentally stressed in any way? Haha, Sir Seo Waol really. What could be stressful when Sir Seo Waol is with me? She's lying again. I sigh inwardly and ask. Do you ever wish to go outside? Outside? Ah, didn't Sir Seo Waol tell you? It's really nice walking through the streets of the serving command arc alone with Sir Seo Waol every few days. I've been going outside already, so. That's not a lie, but there's something more to it. As I am organizing my thoughts. By the way, Sir Seo Waol always checks my level in the summoning wind, sacred blood transformation. Do you not need to do that? The summoning wind, sacred blood transformation, you say. Could you please check the level of the technique for a moment? I ask of you. Yes. Then, let's first go outside and. However, she starts forming hand seals in the cramped room and begins circulating spiritual energy. The heaven and earth spiritual energy in the room starts to move around Ohaiseo. I am startled by what I see. I am also familiar with summoning wind, sacred blood transformation. However, there are no such techniques in the summoning wind, sacred blood transformation. Just when I am taken aback, Ohaiseo, who had been slightly playful and tinged with happiness until now, suddenly changes her expression and glares at me. SSSHHH. The room falls. Silent. She opens her mouth. Who are you? Are you really sent by Sir Seo Waol? If Sir Seo Waol sent you, you wouldn't be unaware that he and I take walks regularly, would you? What should I do? Should I reveal my true identity, having created a false one with Black Dragon's true blood and Yuan Yu's face? But it's risky. If Ohaiseo is brainwashed by Seo Waol, she might immediately report my presence to him. If that happens, as I am pondering various things, the woman observing me suddenly stands up with a shocked expression and steps back. Ohaiseo's voice trembles. What's going on? She's startled by something. She recognized something in me. What is she thinking? Is she trying to call the mansion's servants? However, her next words are beyond my imagination. Seo, Unyun, ! I fail to maintain my expressionless facade and end up looking at Ohaiseo in surprise. Seo Unyun, right, I remember that face. My sense of time became so weird, but it's a face I saw decades ago, Seo Unyun. The suspicion in Ohaiseo's gaze, which had been full of doubt, melts away. However, I can't help but feel bewildered. How did she realize I'm Seo Unyun? Really, it's so nice to meet someone from the same hometown after such a long time. Last time we met, I think I called you Deputy Seo. Well, it's been so long since I've seen your face that the name just comes out, right? I stand frozen in front of Ohaiseo for a while before I touch my face with a stiff expression. After a moment, the blood body skin armor covering my face peels away, revealing my original face. It's been a long time. Yes, really, it really has been a long time. We're both silent for a moment. Then, Ohaiseo asks me, by the way, aren't you curious how I knew? Even though you changed your face. It's my ability. Wait, don't say it. I stop Ohaiseo before she can recklessly reveal her ability. Have you ever told anyone about the ability you've gained? No, I thought about telling Seo Waol at first but then changed my mind. By the way, why did you come in with that face? I smile wryly at her question. Because I'm not exactly friendly with Seo Waol. I see. Ohaiseo laughs heartily. I don't really like Seo Waol either. Not sure if you've noticed, but do these mansion servants look human to you? Ohaiseo whispers as if she's telling a huge secret. They're all corpses. And they're always watching me. And when Co Whale comes, they report everything they've observed about me to him. Quote. At first, I thought Co Whale was a really nice person. But then, at some point, he started to hypnotize. Brainwash. He started doing those things to me. That's when I knew Co Whale is a madman. I don't know what expression to wear, feeling an odd mix of emotions. Unexpectedly, Co is fully aware of everything about Co Whale. Before I awakened my ability, I really thought he was wonderful, kind, and gentle. But after reaching the nascent soul stage and getting somewhat proficient in using my ability, my illusions about Co Whale shattered along with the brainwashing he had placed on me. She babbles on for a while. I smile faintly as I watch her chatter non-stop. Co, nicknamed the Nightingale at the company, was the most admired female employee among the staff. Even though she was captured by Co Whale, she seemed not much different from the Co I knew back then. She is still bright. Co, do you want me to take you out of here? I ask, looking at Co. However, she's silent for a while, before smiling and saying, no, it's okay. Quote. My ability, you see, if I refine it to the extreme, I think I might be able to understand why we came to this world. And where we should return to and how we ended up in this world. Quote. But what does that have to do with staying here? It's related. The best opponent to refine my ability against is Co Whale. She smiles. I thought about investigating Co Whale using my ability. Now, I've been unraveling the story of Co Whale in reverse. Co Whale has done a lot of things. That's why there are so many people with a cause and effect relationship casualty with him, which has greatly refined my ability. As I did so, I became interested in why Co Whale became such a human, and I've been looking into that recently. Strictly speaking, Co Whale isn't human. Oh, now that I think about it, you're right. What exactly is Co's ability? It seems as if she can see through everything from where she sits. Wasn't it an ability related to the bloodline of immortal beasts? Why has it transformed into an almost omniscient ability? Suddenly, I wonder if she can also realize that I had regressed. Are you reading me too? Yes, I am, but others weren't as difficult as you. It feels as if the pages of your book are very heavy. And there are also these cloudy mists. It's hard to read because of those things. After exchanging a few words with her, I chuckle lightly. So, you're saying you'll stay by Co Whale's side? Yes. All right. Be careful. As you know, he's a being as skilled in deceit as in breathing. That does seem to be the case. Seeing that you're safe, I'll be going. It's a bit disappointing. Co Whale won't be coming here for a few days anyway, why don't you stay and rest? If it's because of the servant's eyes, I can do something about it with my power. No, sorry, I have things I must do. I get up and head outside. It's a first. For the first time since I came to this world, my heart feels a bit lighter. I had thought Co was 90% likely to be used or brainwashed by Co Whale. But watching her demonstrate an almost omniscient ability to read her opponent from her seated position, it somehow doesn't feel like Co would easily fall prey to Co Whale. Maybe she was a bit overwhelmed at the beginning, but as she awakened her ability, she gradually started to read Co Whale's moves. Perhaps, she is the one I need to worry the least about among all my colleagues. As I am leaving the manor. Wo Wang, a bright white light erupts from behind, touching the Jiangshi in the mansion. Then, the Jiangshi's eyes dim and they stop in their tracks. Seo's voice rings out. It's the power of the lustrous glazed peacock. Lower beings become foolish the moment they touch the light. The Jiangshi will forget that you came today. Take care. Quote. Yeah, you take care too. I leave the hidden space behind Seo with a light heart. Crackling, my body is almost completely vaporized now. But, at the end of my life, I managed to achieve one of the goals I had set. Really, it's good to be alive. With a somewhat lighter heart, I begin to prepare to splendidly adorn the final grand performance of this life. Zap, zap, though my wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon, I begin to detect the wonderfully mysterious fortress from a long distance. The Mad Lord Zhou Yian has stepped into the territory of the True Dragon Alliance. Chapter 217, The Clown and the Performance 6. Join the Discord for chapter updates donations. Swoosh. Above a vast canyon, a bizarre fortress flies in. Inside the fortress, gears endlessly turn. And the sound of something continuously clicking can be heard, evoking a sense of strangeness in those who listen. Click, 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 click. However, the fortress that's been floating in the air and moving forward suddenly comes to a halt at one point. Coo-goo-goo-goo. Far away, a faint barrier is spread out over a region with white mountain ranges. It's the territory of the Earth Tribe True Dragon Alliance. Wo Wang. Moreover, 3 integration stage grand cultivators exit the barrier after seeing the bizarre fortress, their faces tense as they begin to gather demonic power. So you're the notorious Mad Lord who's been infamous in all 4 directions recently. The Demon King of the Supreme Tiger race growls, bristling with demonic energy, and shouts towards the wonderfully mysterious fortress. I don't know what business you have in the True Dragon Alliance's territory, but even if it's you, if you intend to enter our domain you must be prepared to risk your life. I strongly advise you to turn back. And then, click, click, click. From inside the wonderfully mysterious fortress, countless cannon barrels protrude, aiming their muzzles towards the barrier. Wheeing, accompanied by a buzzing sound, countless bee puppets fly out from inside the wonderfully mysterious fortress, starting to load cannonballs into the cannons. The cannonballs are 4-axis stage general puppets. Flap, flap. As the flag puppets flutter their flags to signal, the cannon operator puppets fire the cannons. Boom, boom, boom. Ignoring the persuasions of the Supreme Tiger King, the Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious fortress fires the general puppets towards the barrier. Zerring. The general puppets are launched towards the barrier and crash headfirst into it, creating cracks throughout. However, the Demon Kings merely smirk, infusing more power into the barrier. Ha! No matter how infamous you, the Mad Lord, might be, the barrier of the True Dragon Alliance, which borrows power from the body of the entering Nirvana stage ancestor. Simultaneously, beams of light shoot out in all directions from the bodies of the general puppets, beginning to carve countless circuits on one side of the barrier. And then, flash, screech, as if spreading like an infection, circuits spread to one corner of the barrier. After a brief moment, the barrier splendidly opens. Seeing this, the integration stage Demon Kings are speechless for a moment, floating in the air before hastily transforming back into their true forms. Damn it! Stop that human madman. No matter how formidable he is, it's barely been 100 years since he ascended, there's no way he can pass through a gate guarded by 3 integration stage Demon Kings. However, the gates of the wonderfully mysterious fortress opened. Screech, click. Along with that, terrifying puppets begin to pour out from inside the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Boom. Billions, no, perhaps hundreds of billions of puppets burst out crazily, turning the heavens and earth black with their numbers. Among them, there are also a frighteningly large number of 4-axis stage puppets. The Demon Kings feel the momentum of the 4-axis stage general puppets and are tense, but they do not lose their confidence. It's okay, no matter how many 4-axis puppets there are, with 3 integration stage Demon Kings gathered here. Then, at some point, integration stage puppets begin to appear from the fortress. Coom, with an enormous momentum, 28 integration stage presences emerge from within. Overwhelmed by this force, the 3 integration stage Demon Kings don't hesitate to scatter and flee, not even looking back as they do so. Integration stage puppets, 9 per each. Demon King, begin to chase after them, leaving the strongest puppet remaining on the scene, the last integration stage puppet. She returns inside the wonderfully mysterious fortress. She enters the control room at the heart of the wonderfully mysterious fortress, walking towards a hunchbacked old man sucking on his fingers beneath a throne inside. Walking towards the hunchback, she picks up the hunchbacked old man in a princess carry and sits herself on the throne. The hunchback, cradled gently in her embrace, continues sucking on his fingers. Mad Lord Zhou Yian manipulates her to command the wonderfully mysterious fortress from atop the throne, advancing it forward. Finally, in my lifetime, I get to attend Xiao Weiol's wedding ceremony. That guy Xiao Weiol, despite having married several women, has never invited me. That can't be right, it must have been a mistake. I will correct it, I will make it right. Xiao Weiol is just an imperfect being after all. Along with the wedding, I will evolve him into a new being at his most beautiful moment. Excited at the thought of embalming Xiao Weiol at the moment of his marriage to create a masterpiece that will last forever, the Mad Lord mobilized all his talents to assault and capture integration stage grand cultivators wherever he found them, turning them into puppets. This resulted in the creation of the 27 integration stage puppets made during this time. Thrilled by the thought of embalming Xiao Weiol at the moment of love, the Mad Lord's madness reached its peak, and his demonic talent also reached its zenith. This is the result. Although these hastily made integration stage puppets are not as durable or strong as real integration stage grand cultivators. With as many as 27 of them, well-arranged formations can even take on 10 grand cultivators. The Mad Lord, filled with hope and joy of evolving Coal, sheds tears of excitement and emotion as he orders the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Advance, advance, to Coal, to Coal, we can't be late for Coal's wedding ceremony. Bring Coal before me. Coal, Coal, I will capture Coal and evolve him. Coal, Soal Sunhyun Soal, I will definitely capture him and devolve him into his most beautiful moment that lasts forever. With eyes spinning in madness, the Mad Lord and the wonderfully mysterious fortress begins heading towards the True Dragon Alliance headquarters, the Serving Command Arc. I can feel it. The Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious fortress has entered the True Dragon Alliance's territory. Its speed is clearly that of an integration stage grand cultivator. The wonderfully mysterious fortress has evolved to the integration stage. This isn't merely a single-minded intention to modify Coal. The obsession to attend Coal's wedding ceremony and to personally embalm the moment of Coal's marriage created this result. At this speed, it will probably arrive at the Serving Command Arc in 2 hours. That news has already arrived here before, alerting everyone in the True Dragon Alliance. It's almost time for the plan to be set in motion. However, I am inexplicably unable to move, caught in a strange feeling. It's been since meeting Ohio. Since meeting Ohio, I've felt something strange dominating my mind. For some reason, a bizarre disharmony is controlling my thoughts. But I can't quite figure out what this disharmony is. What on earth is this? I grit my teeth and press down on my throbbing head. Could it be that Coal planted a trap in her without Ohio knowing? The most rational suspicion is that Coal had somehow activated a trap in me through Ohio without her knowing. I ponder the source of the pain. At least the flow of spiritual energy isn't communicating with anywhere. Coal isn't trying something in real time against me. Is it more like a curse? A curse that triggers if Ohio meets someone other than him. However, as a first-class curse sorcerer myself, I don't feel the presence of a curse. It's not a curse. Then, there must be something. What exactly is this disharmony? I suppress the throbbing in my brain and think. But there's no time left. Soon, the Mad Lord will storm towards the Serving Command Palace. Then, click. For now, I seal the part of my consciousness that suffers from the disharmony using the 5 Elements Blood Curse banner. I also cram in the Yin Soul Ghost incantation to modify the seal, so even if Coal tries something through the 5 Elements Blood Curse banner, it will be futile. Good, now it's useless even if he tries anything. Judging by the lack of perceived spiritual energy flow, it's impossible for Coal to be watching me or to know that I've returned. So, all I have to do now is execute the plan. TSSK. I use the Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace on Kim Yeon for the final time. Flash. Until the last moment, her consciousness does not return. But her condition has improved significantly compared to the beginning. Compared to her initially dull gaze, her eyes are now significantly clearer. If left as is, she will naturally regain consciousness over time. I informed Hong Fan, so even if I die, Hong Fan will take care of her. Then, take care. I stroke the still somewhat dazed Kim Yeon's cheek and turn around. That's when. Question mark quote. TSSK. From Kim Yeon, the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon bursts forth and a strand of her consciousness clings to me. Somehow, as if knowing I am about to go far away, it seems to not want to let go. It feels like it's holding on to me. I look back at her. Her consciousness has not yet returned. However, seeing that strand of Kim Yeon's consciousness clinging to me pitifully, I choose not to detach it and soar into the sky. Wo Wang, the heaven and earth spiritual energy vibrates. The energies of integration stage grand cultivators swirl around from all directions. Emergency. The Mad Lord has invaded. The Mad Lord is coming to the Serving Command Arc. Stop that madman. Stop him. Now, the fact that the Mad Lord has invaded is widely known throughout the Earth tribe. Using a sound transmission talisman, I send a message to Yuhua and fly towards the Serving Command Arc using the record of transcending cultivation and exhausting martial arts. Up in the sky, Kugugugu, There, a blue dragon can be seen swiftly flying towards the serving command arc. It's Seo Whale, evacuating to the serving command arc upon hearing that the Mad Lord is coming. Around Seo Whale, numerous 4-axis stage demon beasts are following him to the serving command arc. As expected, evacuating with his numerous supporters. The serving command arc, in case of an emergency, can descend to the lower realm from its lowest floor, making it the ultimate evacuation and escape route. Of course, I have no intention of letting him escape to the lower realm. Seo Whale cannot escape from us. I take Yu Beck, who is waiting near the serving command arc, and fly up towards it. Inside the serving command arc, Seo Unyan had previously laid out thousands of ultra-small General Seos. These General Seos observe where Seo Whale enters and where he is headed, communicating in real time with Seo Unyan and reporting Seo Whale's location. Seo Whale is currently at one of the evacuation spaces on the 4th floor of the serving command arc. Among those in that evacuation space, numerous demon beasts are tightly gathered around Seo Whale. Sir Seo Whale, I heard you ascended from the lower realm alongside the Mad Lord Zhou Yian. Just how powerful is he that you had to flee here? Is he really as dangerous as his infamy suggests? Aren't you being too worried? However, Seo Whale shakes his head with a reassuring smile in response to their words. The Mad Lord is indeed a dangerous individual. We must not underestimate him. However, this place is the serving command arc, where the highest cultivators of the Earth Tribe True Dragon Alliance gather. There is no need to be too tense. The integration stage demon kings will all gather to deal with the Mad Lord, so don't worry too much. Just think of this as one of the few opportunities for all of us to gather together. To see such a crisis as an opportunity, Sir Seo Whale truly has exceptional thoughts. You flatter me. As they're having a pleasant conversation, they suddenly look in one direction, startled. Seo Whale too suddenly narrows his eyes, glaring somewhere with vertically slit pupils. Isn't this the aura of Blood Yin devilish arts? The faces of the demon beasts are filled with shock. It's certain. The Blood Yin heavenly fiends have invaded the serving command arc. I'll show them who they're dealing with right now. The demon beasts grit their teeth, feeling the dense miasma of the Blood Yin realm. One of the demon beasts stands up and shouts. First of all, it's dangerous for all of us to go there together. How about only a few of us form a group and go? That's a good idea. The energy we're feeling is only around the heavenly being stage anyway. Most of those gathered here are 4-axis cultivators with Seo Whale at the forefront. Even if it is the power of a Blood Yin realm heavenly fiend, there is no real need to fear. However, Seo Whale suddenly smiles and shouts to the assembly. That won't do, everyone. At his words, numerous 4-axis demon beasts look at Seo Whale with puzzled eyes. Yes, what do you mean, Sir Seo Whale? Then Seo Whale starts explaining with a kind face. A true predator uses all its strength in the hunt, no matter how big or small the prey. Most of you must know this saying. We must not be complacent, even if it's just a heavenly being stage heavenly fiend. Hearing Seo Whale's words, numerous 4-axis demon beasts nod. Especially if a Blood Yin heavenly fiend has come here, it might have opened a portal connected to the Blood Yin realm within the serving command arc. If so, the heavenly fiend can summon esteemed ones from the Blood Yin realm, so caution is the best policy. Indeed, we were too rash. No, I might be overreacting. Even if it's just a heavenly being stage fiend, let's all go together for a walk. Seo Whale smiles faintly, leading the numerous demon beasts towards the place where the turbidity is felt. And then, suddenly, Seo Whale stops in his tracks. Sir Seo Whale, what's the matter? As Seo Whale stops, the demon beasts ask him in confusion. Seo Whale, as if it's nothing, smiles and replies. I just remembered I left something around here last time. I'll quickly grab it and join you, so please go ahead without me. Is there anything we can help with? I appreciate the thought, but it's fine. Please go ahead. Yes, well, understood. Thus, numerous members of the demon race disappear towards the location where Seo Unyan is spreading devilish energy through Yuan Yu, leaving Seo Whale alone. Seo Whale does not move from his spot. After a while, SSSSSHHHH. Black curse spells burst from Seo Whale's entire body, revealing Seo Whale being bound by them. Seo Whale, smiling faintly, looks in one direction and speaks. It's been a while, Taoist Seo. Seeing you well eases my mind. The blood that Sea Whale gave me to consume and transform, accepting Sea Whale's sea dragon true blood, wasn't just absorbed with the thought of covering it with the black dragon's true blood. Giving blood to a curse sorcerer means giving the most fundamental medium for a curse. From the day I received Sea Whale's blood, I was in a state where I could curse Sea Whale at any time. Using Sea Whale's blood as a medium, I could transfer curses to Sea Whale whenever and as much as I wanted. Originally, I intended to use a curse to briefly bind Sea Whale's feet. When Yuwa arrives shortly after, I plan to remove the few demon beasts who were helping Sea Whale from his side with her help. But, why? Feeling uneasy, I glare at Sea Whale. Why did you send away all the demon beasts that could protect you? I didn't expect him to send away everyone who could aid him. Rather, Sea Whale's actions make me anxious, not knowing what schemes he has. Sea Whale does not answer but just gives an ambiguous smile. To ascend from the lower realm so quickly, especially considering the spiritual energy is much weaker there, making it take longer to recover your cultivation to raise your cultivation so quickly, you must have indeed been a high being who fell. You're not going to talk. Right now, when Yuwa is rescuing Bai Nong, I have to face Sea Whale purely with my wit and ability. But I am not particularly worried. No matter how close to an integration stage Demon King Sea Whale is, he's already cursed. If you don't want to talk, then don't. I take out the poison that Hong Fan made for me from the storage bag. This poison amplifies the sensation of pain by 60,000 times for a certain period. Compared to that, its lethality is almost non-existent, a drug made solely for the purpose of pain. Without hesitation, I open the jade bottle and swallow the poison. Then, I take out the 5 elements blood curse banner, feed it with plenty of curse spells to create a black ghost curse banner, and thrust it into my chest. PFF'd! Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. The pain feels like it's ripping my mind apart. No, it definitely is. My brain feels incandescent with whiteness. A mortal would have died from the pain long ago, but cultivators, with their robust bodies and expansive consciousness, do not easily faint or die from pain. That means, I have to fully experience the sensation of pain amplified 60,000 times. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. I am unable to speak. However, even in pain that feels like my spirit is vaporizing and my consciousness disintegrating, I smile faintly. SSSSSHHHH. The curses I had placed on Sea Whale glow, and Sea Whale also experiencing the pain, amplified by the curse. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. Sea Whale, with trembling hands, clutches his head and kneels on one knee. Even for an integration stage Demon King, this must be quite hard to endure. My tolerance for pain has already become much stronger. Yet, the pain is enough to vaporize my mind. Such a level of pain should somewhat affect even the pinnacle of integration stage cultivators. Zing. Bleeding from my 7 orifices, I look at Sea Whale through my blurry vision. Sea Whale, that guy. And as I watch Sea Whale writhing in pain, I feel a profound sense of strangeness. Sea Whale, even while kneeling and clutching his head, is smiling. His eyes and pupils are trembling, and his heart essence is indeed shaken by the pain. But somehow, his face is still smiling kindly and warmly. It's as if that expression of kindness and that gentle moment is forever embalmed on his face, a truly eerie sight. At that moment, I truly feel as if Sea Whale had put on a mask of benevolence. Is that gentle smile fixed onto his face? Or is it that he can only smile like that? Watching Sea Whale, unable to let go of his kind expression even as he clearly feels pain, I feel a sense of eeriness. Sea Whale, what on earth are you? Creaking, I grit my teeth and slowly begin to rise from my spot. Noticing my movement, Sea Whale, still clutching his head, also slowly rises. However, we can only get up from our spots, overwhelmed by pain and unable to do anything else. Wo Wang. Then, the curse spells shining on Sea Whale's body begin to vibrate. ZZZZT. Sparks fly from the curse spells. I realize that Sea Whale is pushing the curse away. Wo Wang. The curse spells embedded in Sea Whale's body begin to rise above him, sparking flames. That won't do. Weeing. In the midst of pain, I infuse even more pain from the Yin Soul Ghost incantation into the curse, trying to embed the curse that is trying to detach even deeper into Sea Whale's body. ZZZZT. A tense standoff continues as sparks fly from the curse spells. There are various ways to cast a curse, but most curses require some condition. The cursed sorcerer must possess a part of the target's body. The sorcerer must know the target well. The sorcerer's curse spell must have touched the target. The target must have harmed the sorcerer. The sorcerer must harbor resentment towards the target. If these conditions are not met and one simply tries to cast a curse, its power is significantly reduced, making it easier to shake off or dispel. However, if the conditions are met, the curse becomes much harder to dispel. And I have met most of these conditions. The situation would be different before the curse was activated, but having launched the curse by surprise, the balance of this confrontation is clearly in my favor. Kugugugu. Thousands, tens of thousands of curse spells flow into Sioweol. Sioweol, shedding tears of blood, exerts his energy. ZZZZT. Clearly, I have the advantage. But despite that, the power of Sioweol, comparable to the integration stage, is tremendous. It's as if I have Sioweol's heart in my grasp, yet Sioweol, little by little, is indeed pushing my curse back. Is the difference in cultivation insurmountable? It can't be helped. Even though I have mastered the powers of heaven, earth, and heart tribes, amplifying my strength tremendously, my cultivation is merely at the nascent soul stage. If this continues, the curse will surely be dispelled. So, about 1 Shichen, about 2 hours later. SSSK. Trembling with pain, I smile. Sioweol's power is indeed great, but in 1 Shichen, there is too much I can do. The pain is slowly becoming familiar. Just get a bit more used to it, and in the remaining 1 Shichen, I can push Sioweol to the limit. Just when I think so, Sioweol begins to form hand seals. That is, thick turbidity flows from around Sioweol. Terrible screams and wails spread around as Sioweol forms the hand seals. It's neither a spell nor a demon ability. Rather, it's devilish arts. Clearly one of the techniques from the Blood Yin realm. I closely observe the flow of devilish energy in the technique Sioweol is using. I can feel it. It's similar to the mysterious bizarre GU techniques I use. A devilish art that stealthily parasitizes someone in advance, lying dormant and detonating when needed. Additionally, the technique of blood sacrifice used by Yuan Li is also mixed in. I quickly deduce the identity of the technique Sioweol is using. A technique that detonates a parasitic spell previously hidden in a target, kills them, and then uses the victim in a blood sacrifice. SSSSSHHHH. As Sioweol forms the final seal, he speaks. Tainted soul devouring life curse. SSSSSHHHH. Suddenly, from afar, the stench of blood wafts through the air. It's the direction towards which the 4-axis demon beasts, following Yuan Yu, had headed. Did he place that technique on all those who follow him? He must have arranged for the possibility to kill them at any moment and offer them as a blood sacrifice to serve as his spare lives. Kugugugu. Is it because he turned about 24-axis cultivators entirely into blood sacrifices? The energy of the blood sacrifice felt from afar is tremendous. If that energy is supplied to Sioweol now, he might shake off my curse instantly. Crack. I can't let that happen. Even amidst the pain that muddles my consciousness, I reach into my storage bag. Originally, I planned to do this after getting more accustomed to the pain, but now that it's come to this, I'll finish the job now. Chalak. I pull out an item from within the storage bag. It's a puppet used for communicating with the Mad Lord. As soon as the puppet emerges from the storage bag, it starts rolling its eyes to check the surroundings, fixing its gaze on Sioweol. Mad Lord Senior, can you hear me? SSSK. I smirk and shout to the Mad Lord beyond the puppet. I'll give you the coordinates of Sioweol's location. Weeing, Earth Tribe's True Dragon Alliance. The wonderfully mysterious fortress is currently engaging in battle with 12 integration stage demon kings near the serving command arc. The bee puppets fluttering around the wonderfully mysterious fortress suddenly stop their activity and land in various places on the fortress. Weeing, along with the sound of a swarm buzzing, the bee puppets that had landed on the wonderfully mysterious fortress begin to flutter, preparing for something. Wo Wang. Simultaneously, the wonderfully mysterious fortress begins to move rapidly in one direction. To the integration stage demon kings, this seems as if the Mad Lord is retreating from the battlefield, bringing smiles to their faces. Is the Mad Lord trying to retreat? However, in the next moment, their expressions twist. The billions of bee puppets attached to the Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious fortress tear through space. The integration stage demon kings realize. Is that spatial teleportation? It should be impossible to go too far, but where is it going? Wait, the direction of that spatial teleportation. No, Stop it! The demon kings, pale with shock, charge towards the wonderfully mysterious fortress. The Mad Lord is attempting a spatial leap to the serving command arc. Receiving the signal from Xiao Unyun, the Mad Lord began attempting a spatial leap to the 4th floor of the serving command arc. Chapter 218, The Clown and the Performance 7. Join the Discord for chapter updates donations. Coming. He is coming. Keek. As the gap in space opens, something with a massive presence can be felt leaping towards this place from afar. Wonderfully mysterious fortress. The Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious fortress is trying to leap inside the serving command arc. Xia Wei'ol, too, seems to feel the familiar presence of the Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious fortress, turning his head towards where he feels its presence. How about that? At this moment, when Xia Wei'ol is out of his senses. If the Mad Lord arrives, Xia Wei'ol will no longer be able to do anything. Unable to employ any trickery. Literally like raw meat laid out before the Mad Lord, unable to concoct any sinister plan. After all, in a few days, my entire body will turn into lightning and I will die. If Xia Wei'ol gets stuffed by the Mad Lord and holds a wedding ceremony with the Mad Lord's puppet, it will be a rather satisfying ending for Gu Ryan and all those sacrificed by Xia Wei'ol. Creak. The spatial rift opens, and from afar, through the void, the silhouette of a fortress with clanking mechanical gears flying towards this place can be seen. Yet, Xia Wei'ol does not change his expression. Rather, accustomed to the pain, he opens his mouth like me. The serving command arc may be a discarded immortal treasure, but still, an immortal treasure is an immortal treasure. After briefly looking at the wonderfully mysterious fortress, Xia Wei'ol manages to bear the pain and smiles faintly. Then, his gaze falls away from the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Without a special seal that allows direct entry, no matter even the Mad Lord, it's not so easy to enter this place. Quote. Seems like it's coming in though. Keek. As if to mock Xia Wei'ol's words. The massive wonderfully mysterious fortress is gradually getting closer from beyond the space. Due to the influence of the serving command arc, it appears like something is blocking the wonderfully mysterious fortress at intervals. However, the wonderfully mysterious fortress penetrates all resistance and enters this place. Keek. At the sight of the wonderfully mysterious fortress overcoming the resistance of the serving command arc and gradually approaching, Xia Wei'ol is momentarily speechless. No matter how cunning Xia Wei'ol's schemes are, no matter how outstanding his strategies, to the Mad Lord, no common sense, logic, or scheme can prevail. Finally, creak. From the void, stopping just about 30 meters away inside the serving command arc, the wonderfully mysterious fortress comes to a halt. The gate of the wonderfully mysterious fortress opens. Creak. My whole body tingles. From inside, the overwhelming aura of 28 beings. I realize that each of these auras do not fall short of the presence of Gu Ryan, who had once attempted the integration stage. Creak. Of course, even if the serving command arc is completely destroyed, Xia Wei'ol's words about it still being an immortal treasure aren't entirely false, as the 28 puppets couldn't enter this side. However, as the 28 puppets simultaneously stretch their hands towards this area, a gap seems to appear in some invisible resistance surrounding the serving command arc. Creak. And finally, a gap large enough for a child to enter is created. Boom. Just that is enough. From the other side, the Mad Lord commanding his puppets is felt. Within the wonderfully mysterious fortress, countless bee puppets fly in through the small gap and surround us from all sides. Boom. The bee puppets cross over to where we are standing, surrounding Xia Wei'ol and me, spinning wildly. The whirlwind created by the bee puppets prevents Xia Wei'ol from using the blood sacrifice from the 4-axis cultivators to enhance his strength. Now, what will you do? I look at Xia Wei'ol, who is reaching towards the gathering of the blood sacrifice's energy, and smile bitterly. I can feel it. The enormous energy of the blood sacrifice, which was immense just moments ago, is gradually diminishing. Like many types of devilish arts, such large-scale sacrificial techniques have a short duration. If the objective is not achieved within that short time, it becomes utterly useless. Judging by how quickly the energy is diminishing, it's clear that the energy created by Xia Wei'ol's blood sacrifice is dispersing. Moreover, these bee puppets are clearly designed for spatial leaping. These puppets will surely prepare to fully summon the wonderfully mysterious fortress inside the serving command arc. Once that happens, the Mad Lord will fully enter, and it will be the end for Xia Wei'ol. Let's not let our guard down until the very end. Yet, despite having driven Seo Whale into a corner, I find myself tensing up even more. If I know Seo Whale, he surely has more tricks up his sleeve. It wouldn't be strange if another Seo Whale suddenly emerges from underground, claiming that what we've been dealing with until now was just a clone. It wouldn't be strange if he had suddenly tampered with the poison mixed by Hong Fan. I've felt disharmony ever since meeting Ohai Seo. It's likely one of Seo Whale's schemes. Though sealed by the 5 Elements Blood Curse banner, I am currently caught in Seo Whale's trap and must remain cautious until the very end. There are still several ways to push Seo Whale further. However, I decide to wait until Yua arrives with reinforcements. It's best to be cautious until a more certain force is available. Let's endure, until we can deal a more decisive blow to him. Creak, creak, creak. Beyond the bee puppets, in the direction of the spatial rift. There, as if the bee puppets accomplished something, the wonderfully mysterious fortress manages to widen the spatial rift a bit more. Good, if it continues like this. But then, it happens. Thunk. Suddenly, the wonderfully mysterious fortress jolts and begins to be pushed back slightly. What? Seo Whale opens his mouth without losing his smile. It seems, the demon kings of the Earth tribe are not just sitting idly by. Wo Wang, I realize that a strange attraction is coming from the direction of the spatial rift. Beyond the spatial rift, behind the wonderfully mysterious fortress. There, the integration stage grand cultivators of the Earth tribe are pulling the wonderfully mysterious fortress with an attractive force to drag the Mad Lord back outside the serving command arc. Are you relying on that? However, I just smirk. I know the wonderfully mysterious fortress best. The wonderfully mysterious fortress hasn't even begun to use its real power yet. Koo-goo-goo-goo. Several cylindrical thrusters appear behind the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Simultaneously, an immense spiritual power erupts from the thrusters, resisting the attractive force and sticking to the inside of the spatial rift as if it's going to pierce through back to its original position. If it was easy to block or restrain the wonderfully mysterious fortress, could the Mad Lord have freely spread his wings for 1,000 years? Despite its fortress-like appearance seeming quite slow, the true nature of the wonderfully mysterious fortress is an incredibly fast mobile fortress. The wonderfully mysterious fortress, when the Mad Lord is serious, cannot be stopped by anything. Indeed, it will be a bit difficult. However, Seo Whale's complexion doesn't change, and his heart essence remains undisturbed. What is he relying on? Seo Whale just smiles, and I feel an indescribable unease from that smile. I cannot understand the emotions that typical creatures speak of and share. Even though it should be indescribably painful, what's going on? Has he completely accustomed to the pain already? Even when I try to analyze and mimic what is called emotions through the vibrations of the lungs, it is not enough to fully understand the behavioral patterns of living creatures. So, I have developed a hypothesis while studying the behavioral patterns of the Mad Lord. I let Seo Whale's nonsense go in one ear and out the other, focusing on whatever trick he is about to play next. Click. Seo Whale reaches into his bosom and takes out a necklace from within. It's an unassuming necklace made of thin cotton thread, but the ornament on the necklace is a beautiful gem made of green crystal. Seo Whale wraps the necklace around his hand, tying the gem to his palm. To creatures, each individual has something they call precious, akin to the purpose of life. Intelligent creatures, called sentient beings, mostly have such a thing. Surprisingly, this includes me as well. Quote. I try not to focus on Seo Whale's nonsense, but I am momentarily startled by his statement that he also has something precious to himself and look him in the eye. To the Mad Lord, it was her. To my descendant Ran, it was familial affection. To Baek Nyung who I took in, it was the well-being of his race. And to that Heart tribe who went to save Baek Nyung, it was the safety of her disciple. Snap. Seo Whale extends his hand holding the green crystal necklace towards the spatial rift where the Mad Lord is trying to enter. I have to stop him before he does something. But I can't move. It's impossible to understand how Seo Whale can suddenly move so calmly. Has he not felt pain from the beginning? No, if that were the case, he wouldn't have performed such a foolish act of clutching his head and falling over trying to resist the curse. Then, Seo Whale is also feeling pain. No, he is experiencing more pain than I am. Then how is he so composed? Feeling revolting, I glare intensely at Seo Whale's heart essence. What I want to say is, if you know what entities desire, it's too easy to control various entities by slightly manipulating those desires. Like the musician who went a completely different way for the safety of her disciple, taking a long time to come for support, and Baek Myung who offered his soul to me for the well-being of his species. Whirring, green light bursts from the jade that Seo Whale holds, illuminating the illusion of Baek Myung. That is, Baek Myung. How could Seo Whale extracted Baek Myung's soul and is manipulating it by infusing it into the necklace? Baek Myung, use the mountain-repelling whip. Yes, master. Simultaneously, Baek Myung, with his soul extracted, combines his power with Seo Whale's and exhibits his beyond the path to heavens. Seo Whale says with a faint smile. The heaven and earth tribes may despise heart tribe individuals who have reached the third stage of the heart path method, but in my view, the potential of the heart tribe is limitless. Just as you, merely at the nascent soul stage, confuse the power of heaven, earth, and heart to produce a force comparable to the four-axis stage, the power of the heart tribe, if properly utilized, can be like this. Kugugugu. The power of Baek Myung's beyond the path to heavens to adjust, wait. And the attractive force emanating from Seo Whale's hand combines, starting to amplify madly. That is, just like when my formless sword of treading heaven and my nascent soul are combined, showing an incredible amplification. The attraction emanating from Seo Whale's hand amplifies immensely. And then, bang, with a sound of breaking through the air, the force emanating from Seo Whale's hand suddenly turns into a repulsive force, pushing the Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious fortress away. Kugugugu. If the cultivation of the heaven and earth tribes is additive, then the cultivation of the heart tribe is multiplicative. Already surpassing the peak of the four-axis stage, Seo Whale possesses a power akin to that of the integration stage. With Baek Myung's beyond the path to heavens to control weight added to Seo Whale's power, his attractive force reached as high as the peak of the integration stage. With the integration stage demon kings of the earth tribe pulling from behind and Seo Whale pushing from the front, the wonderfully mysterious fortress appears to be pushed out gradually and then disappears beyond the darkness of the void. It's strange that while using the heart tribe can be so useful, magical artifacts or dharma treasures utilizing the heart tribe are rarely produced. Isn't it odd? There's more than enough reasons to despise the heart tribe, whether it's reading heart essence or adding heavenly tribulations. Why haven't the inhabitants of the bright cold realm ever considered utilizing the heart tribe? Is it because they're too repulsed even to attempt such simple uses? He asks me with a slight smile. Doesn't it seem like a hatred purposely planted in the bright cold realm? Taoist Seo, who embodies heaven, earth, and heart, do you perhaps know something about this? Won't you tell me? So, it's not that you don't feel pain. I finally realize how Seo Whale is enduring this insane level of pain. Seo Whale had disassembled his own consciousness. He cut his soul into several pieces and then reattached them, not quite completely. In doing so, he had disassembled his consciousness, becoming akin to being unconscious. In short, what is speaking to me is not Seo Whale himself but actions inputted into his body before he disassembled his soul. The moment the Mad Lord appeared, he gave up enduring the pain with his consciousness and temporarily disassembled his mind before pushing the Mad Lord away. Having successfully repelled the Mad Lord, he will probably revert his consciousness back as he had programmed. There's no need to take anything Seo Whale says seriously. Everything he says is a lie. The reason he's prattling on with seemingly profound words is just a ruse to hide the fact that he lost consciousness. Then, now is Seo Whale's most vulnerable moment. Charak. A storage bag floats up beside me. It isn't just any storage bag. A special storage bag that can contain living beings. A type of storage bag called a peach garden painting. Charararik. From within, a woman wearing an old, rustic robe walks out. It's Yu Baek. The Mad Lord retreated, but that is fine. After all, this revealed a vulnerability in Seo Whale. Miss Yu Baek. I convey my intentions directly to Yu Baek through heart language. Yu Baek nods and extends one hand. Keying. A golden seal shines from her hand. The seal of the Ark Controlling Envoy. One of Yu Ryan's authorities, allowing free passage in and out of the serving command Ark. Using this authority, it's possible to instantly connect a predetermined location with the inside of the serving command Ark. The door in space opens. I didn't use it in front of the Mad Lord because I didn't know what would happen to Yu Baek. Yuwa. If it's to call Yuwa, now is the time to use it. Baek Myung is here, come over. And then, from beyond the door in space, a crimson stream quickly crosses over to this side. Keying. Baek Myung's figure is still faintly visible in Seo Whale's hand, which had just pushed away the Mad Lord, and Yuwa captures that scene as soon as she arrives. Baek Nyang, Yu Hua's beloved disciple, is being used as a magic artifact with his soul extracted by Xiao Weil. Yu Hua says nothing. Instead, she reveals her true form, places the zither in front of her, and begins to play with a solemn expression never seen before. Jing. The entire space seems to resonate with the sound. Yu Hua's illusory play focuses solely on Xiao Weil, deeply, and even more deeply pulling his disassembled consciousness. Even deeper. Despite the melody being focused solely on Xiao Weil, just hearing it makes me feel an indescribable drowsiness. But both Yu Beck and I brace ourselves and watch Xiao Weil stagger. Somehow, it feels like falling asleep now due to Yu Hua would lead to a nightmare like no other. I say to Yu Beck. I use curses, Yu Hua uses sleep. Xiao Weil himself temporarily disassembled his consciousness to create this vulnerability. Yu Beck clenches her fists tightly. Have you made up your mind? Quote. Yes. Her heart essence has been shaking from the moment she saw Xiao Weil. However, within that wavering heart essence, one resolve remains unshaken. Her heart path method, bound by many limitations. Yet, against a specific target, it displays unparalleled power. Yu Beck's entering heavens. To avenge Yu Ryan's grudge. Beyond the path to heavens. Auspicious exchange of emotional expression. A symbol of the promise shared between Xiao Weil and her, designed solely to end Xiao Weil. Based on the content of the vast cold beautiful agreement created for the mutual death of the parties involved, Yu Beck's Beyond the Path to Heavens now activates. Clink, clink, clink. Chains of the same brown color as Yu Beck's robe flows from her hand. Simultaneously, the brown chains naturally permeate Xiao Weil's chest, entwining around his heart, major organs, and various parts of his demon core. I see. I realize where the chains emitted from Yu Beck's hand are connected. Chains connected to Yu Beck's heart. These chains are likewise connected to Xiao Weil's heart, major organs, and demon core. Literally, her Beyond the Path to Heavens is for dying together with Xiao Weil. Implementing the content of the vast cold oath created for their mutual demise is precisely Yu Beck's Beyond the Path to Heavens, the symbol of their shared promise. Clink, clink, clink. I summon countless generals Xiao from the storage bag, making them open their mouths behind me. At any moment, I am ready to sacrifice my body, exploding curses and the formless sword in a suicidal attack. Even if Yu Beck fails to kill Xiao Weil, my explosion will end him. Even if we can't finish Xiao Weil, we can at least injure him enough to incapacitate him for a while, giving the Mad Lord enough time to return. It's been a life full of ups and downs. I went under Xiao Weil to uncover his true nature. Though I gained much from observing him from beneath, I couldn't learn everything, and instead, I encountered many explosive situations like bombs. Really, do I have any regrets? I contemplate whether I have any regrets in this life as I am about to deliver the final blow. I will know when I see the panorama of my life flash before me at that moment. Never let your guard down until the very end. Xiao Weil is Xiao Weil. Seeing his heart essence, it's clear he is indeed Xiao Weil himself, unpredictable in when and where he might plot something. Focus all your attention on observing Xiao Weil. Right up to the very end. Never let your guard down. Quote. Ha, Boang. Before Yu Beck can activate the auspicious exchange of emotional expression, a crimson hand pierces through Yu Beck's back and out her heart. Crick. The chains that emerged from Yu Beck, spinning wildly with yin and yang, disperse on their own. And then, the crimson hand shoots towards me. Jeong. I am struck down by the formidable force carried by the crimson hand, collapsing to the ground. Wallach. My body, already more than 80% transformed into lightning, feels like it will disperse at any moment. From the remaining 20% of my flesh, red liquid trickles out, spreading around. With a bewildered look, I gaze at the face of the one who had ambushed Yu Beck and me. Yuan Yu. The immense power Xiao Weil had gained from performing a blood sacrifice with all the 4-axis stage cultivators. I thought it had all dissipated. It hadn't. It was all absorbed by Yuan Yu. And then, as Yuan Yu speaks, I feel a sense of despair. It's strange. You were hit by the lustrous glaze peacock's light, how can you recognize me? From Yuan Yu's mouth comes a very familiar voice. It's none other than Ohai Xiao's voice. Really, you're too strange, Xiao Unyun. A misty haze protects you. Because of that haze, I can only read superficial things about you. TSS. I finally realize the identity of the strange disharmony I feel in my mind. My memories were distorted by the light of the lustrous glaze peacock, but the canvas of myriad forms and connections that I was using unconsciously showed me the truth. I wasn't hit by the lustrous glaze peacock's light, on my way back, after meeting Ohio. I was ambushed by the lustrous glaze peacock's light, on my way to meet Ohio. The conversations I had with her, my reading of her heart essence, the sequence of events when I was hit by the light. Everything had been mixed up and distorted by the first light of the lustrous glaze peacock she had cast on me. Stagger, stagger. Yuan, too, staggers under the power of Ohio's white light emanating from Yuan Yu's body, and her playing comes to a stop. Simultaneously, Xiao Wei'ol, having reassembled his disassembled consciousness, stands up from his place. Ohio, in Yuan Yu's body, walks slowly towards Xiao Wei'ol, who greets her with a warm smile. Very familiarly, just as he often did to me, Xiao Wei'ol pats Yuan Yu's shoulder. Pat, pat. Yuan Li thought he had learned the method of creating a blood body from ancient ruins and considered it his unique technique. But, it was actually me, Taoist Xiao, who initially guided Yuan Li to the ancient ruins to learn the method of creating the blood body. Pat, pat, if you had obediently mastered the summoning wind, sacred blood transformation, which contains the techniques of the blood yin realm, as I advised, you would have realized what I did to the blood body. It's a pity, really. Pat, pat. Ohio, avoiding Xiao Wei'ol's patting hand, says. Someone who knows the exact method to activate the blood body can access the memories stored in the blood body by touching it. The activation method involves elevating the blood body's vitality in extreme environments, right? Oh dear, Miss Xiao. It's troublesome if you reveal such a huge secret carelessly. Well, doesn't it matter? After all, Xiao Unyun is going to die. From my perspective, it's more important whether shaking Xiao Unyun's emotions can stir those misty things. Certainly, that was it. For some reason, Xiao Wei'ol frequently patted my shoulder in this life. And the vast majority of those times were when I was wearing the blood body skin armor. Activating the blood body in extreme environments is part of the technique. He had been patting my shoulder in a friendly manner since our first meeting. I thought it was just to simulate camaraderie. That wasn't it. Xiao Wei'ol was trying to find out why a stranger like me who ascended was wearing Yuan Li's blood body from the beginning. From the beginning, Xiao Wei'ol wanted to know why someone he met for the first time and ascended was wearing Yuan Li blood body. Realizing how often Xiao Wei'ol casually tapped my shoulder, I feel a sense of emptiness. I was merely a clown dancing before you. I thought I had been monitoring Xiao Wei'ol through the Mad Lord's circuits. But it turns out I was the one being constantly monitored through the blood body. Literally, it was just a play put on by a clown. Yes, a clown's performance. And thus, the ludicrous performance of the clown comes to an end. Yes, I lost. With a hollow laugh, I look at Xiao Wei'ol and Yuan Yu, who are looking back at me. Since it's come to this, I clasp my hands together, interlocking my fingers, and close my eyes. And then, I chant. Return to thee, chapter 219, after the performance 1. Join the Discord for chapter updates donations. The moment I utter, return to thee, is precisely when it happens. Before any reaction can occur, Xiao Wei'ol charges at me with a speed too fast for the eyes to follow. Crunch. Xiao Wei'ol strikes me down, his foot stomping on my chest. GHH. My words do not come out. No, what should I say? It feels as if my will to speak, including my words, are suddenly suppressed. What is this? The feeling as if Xiao Wei'ol had rushed in and isolated me from the entire world. However, I do not panic. Instead, I look at Xiao Wei'ol and smirk. It's the first time Xiao Wei'ol's heart essence has been so tumultuously disturbed. Xiao Wei'ol is still smiling with a frozen expression, but his heart essence is storming in a way I had never seen before. My words are sealed, but I convey my message to Xiao Wei'ol with my lips so he can clearly see. Are even you afraid of true immortals? Haha, wouldn't it be disrespectful to bother someone who is already suffering from exile in a far-off dimension by calling them to this world? Exiled. It seems like Xiao Wei'ol knows something about the owner of the heavenly lightning banner. To think an entity exiled in a distant dimension showed that level of power. The more I know, the more it seems that true immortals always easily surpass the limits and boundaries I had in mind. Wo Wang, I check the state of my body. Despite my chest already being transformed into lightning, Seo Whale is stepping on it. Glancing around, I notice the characters for good and virtue floating up in my lower and middle dantians, respectively. I look at my head. Above my upper dantian, the character for distant appeared, and I smile bitterly. What have you done to me? Thanks to Taoist Seo needlessly running his mouth, I had to consume one of my axes to seal you. Seal. Literally, it feels as though my entire body is gradually creaking, increasingly isolating me from the world. Thanks to you, I need to go to the Blood Yin realm to replenish the fourth axis I had to use. My tasks have become quite bothersome because of this. Bothersome. Of course, by his expression, it seems like he is just teasing me. However, Seo Whale's heart essence has indeed become a bit complicated. It appears that the fact he has to go to the Blood Yin realm is irritating Seo Whale. Why? Does Seo Whale have some connection to the Blood Yin realm? Somehow, Seo Whale's demeanor suggests he is reluctant to visit the Blood Yin realm. If you didn't want to go to the Blood Yin realm, couldn't you have used another axis? According to Seo Whale's previous explanation, Nether Ghost is for longevity, Purple Gold is for wealth, Ancient Force for health, and True Devils for love of virtue. Since the Blood Yin realm branched off from the True Devil realm, it's no different. It makes sense for him, who sealed with the axis of love of virtue, to replenish his axis there. But if he dislikes going to the Blood Yin realm, couldn't he have just used another axis to seal me? When I think so, are you teasing me, or do you genuinely not know? What? Did I say something wrong? As I am puzzled, the Purple Gold realm is too far away, taking 1,000 years just to travel back and forth, which would be a waste of time, and the Ancient Force realm requires certain conditions to enter, making it difficult to replenish the spent axis, wouldn't you say? Then why not go to the Nether Ghost realm? When I ask, Seo Whale smiles. I frowned, observing Seo Whale's heart essence. Did I say something wrong? Realizing my gaffe in speech through observing Seo Whale's heart essence, I notice the tension boiling within him has significantly calmed down after my recent response. It's strange. You are too strange. Seo Whale bends down to my level, bringing his face close to mine as if he can't comprehend. Continuing from what I said earlier, an entity can be controlled if you know its precious thing, its purpose. But what are you exactly? I've been monitoring your movements through Yuan Li's blood body for over 100 years, but I can't figure out your purpose. Quote. What is your precious thing? Sometimes it seems like you have something precious, but just now, you seemed ready to shatter the board as if nothing was precious to you. Seo Whale's bright blue pupils are stretched wide, observing me. Trying to understand what kind of being I am. Without a known purpose, without anything precious, you should be a power-lost, fallen being. Yet strangely, you're unaware of the obvious dangers of the Nether Ghost realm. Not a decrepit being, are you perhaps the leftover of some noble existence? Perhaps a leftover born with only a fraction of memories attached, not receiving the entirety. Seo Whale narrows his eyes and smiles. Except for the era of the heretic Yongsu Jin, there's no information about the decline of true immortals within the past 120,000 years. So with high probability, you're a noble being that fell during Yongsu Jin's time. Quote. After seeing Taoist attempt to summon that being, I inferred the situation before and after. Had you directly faced that being with the body of a mortal, you would have surely surrendered to them in a matter of moments. However, the fact that Taoist has endured from the disappearance of Heavenly Human Island until now indicates that that being has shown you favor. My guess is, perhaps you directly assisted the essence of the great heavenly punishment in being found by her master. There could be no other action worthy of their favor. Seo Whale's speculation continues. And the method that likely aided the essence of the great heavenly punishment was most likely by knowing her true name and calling it out. By doing so, you would have been well aware of what would happen to the descendants of Yongsu Jin who that entity resented. With a high probability, you are one of the true immortals who was killed by Yongsu Jin and harbored resentment towards him. Quote. There are many candidates since Yongsu Jin had destroyed not just one or two entities. However, there aren't many who harbored enough grudge against Yongsu Jin to devastate even his descendants. If we exclude those who would never borrow that being's power, the list of candidates narrows down to less than 10 fingers. Seemingly getting closer to my identity, Seo Whale asks with a smirk. Given how things stand, revealing your identity might not be a bad choice. Doesn't Taoist Seo have an inkling of who I might be? I hesitate for a moment, not knowing what to say, and then coldly laugh. Why would there be a need to reveal that between us? Between us. What do you mean? But Seo Whale pulls his face away from me as if he doesn't understand. Haven't we been watching, doubting, and preparing to backstab each other for decades? Ah, that. Seo Whale chuckles upon reading my lips. It was all just a joke, wasn't it? For a moment, I feel dazed by Seo Whale's response. Haha, why are you like this, Taoist Seo? If you are among the entities I suspect, weren't we the beings who held the universe in our palms, traversing dimensions and unraveling countless conspiracies and strategies on the scale of fate and history? Why fuss over a few incidents in this Saha world, mundane world? To us, it's merely a joke, isn't it? A joke. Hearing Seo Whale's words make my mind tremble. All of this, just a joke. It's absurd. But I suppress my tumultuous heart essence and look at Seo Whale. Don't be swayed. It's clear. There's another lie mixed in there. And Seo Whale is observing me, throwing information mixed with lies. Don't get entangled with Seo Whale. I need to buy time. In a little while, the Mad Lord will completely break through to the 7th floor, the formal entrance to the Serving Command Arc. As long as Seo Whale doesn't completely seal me and continues to converse with me until then, there's hope. Don't be swayed by Seo Whale's words. Act as if I know more and extract more information from him. If everything's a joke, wouldn't venturing into the Nether Ghost Realm for a bit of adventure be fine, even if it's a bit dangerous? You seem to dislike going to the Blood Yin Realm. Do you really not know anything about the Nether Ghost Realm? Single quote. Question mark. Single quote. As you know, the absolute majority of entering Nirvana stage true persons desire to enter the true immortal realm by any means necessary, hence the Nether Ghost Realm is swarming with those at the entering Nirvana stage, their eyes red and observing. Beings at the entering Nirvana stage are far too mature to be mere objects of jests. You can guess why they are observing the Nether Ghost Realm, can't you? The Nether Ghost Realm is related to a shortcut into the true immortal realm. This can also be a lie, but somehow, the words just uttered by Seo Hweol feel true. I've learned that the Nether Ghost Realm is a place teeming with entering Nirvana cultivators, red-eyed and observing. If they're merely observing rather than directly entering, it's probably because of the promise with the Black Dragon King. Black Dragon King, Nether Ghost Realm, Blood Yin Realm, entering Nirvana stage, Astral Realm, Seo Whale. How is everything related? How can I compile this information to continue the conversation with Seo Whale? As I ponder, so, I'll ask again, Taoist Seo. Seo Whale looks into my eyes with a slight smile. It was just a joke among us. Still, will you not reveal your identity? And then, it happens. A joke. Squirm. Yubeck, who had collapsed earlier. Her heart had been pierced, yet she starts to twitch and slowly begins to rise. Oh. Seo Whale watches her with an intrigued look. The hole where her heart had been pierced has already stopped bleeding. I gasp, knowing how Yubeck is moving. She is forcibly circulating qi throughout her body to stand up. She is temporarily doing the work of the heart by circulating energy herself. But in such a state, Yubeck is as good as dead. Despite her efforts to prevent vitality from escaping, her face is rapidly paling. She's already on the brink of death, so doing anything more is pointless. Yet, still, with a trembling voice, squeezing air from her lungs, Yubeck speaks. A joke, was it? Say it again, Seo Whale. To you, was the time with Yu Ryan merely a joke? Yubeck, with a hole in her chest, places her trembling hand over it and glares at Seo Whale. Yu Ryan, I loved you truly. But to you, was I merely a joke? Yubeck cries out. Answer me, Seo Whale. Was all of this just for your amusement? And Seo Whale clicks his tongue. You're not Senior Yu. At his cold attitude, Yubeck clenches her teeth. Even if you somehow managed to come this far by mastering the heart path method as a remnant, that's all. You're just a leftover of Senior Yu. Not the person herself. Don't be mistaken. Yu Ryan is dead, and your actions are utterly meaningless. I am. No. Yubeck, with tears streaming down her face, collapses to the ground. Yes, Yu Ryan truly liked you, Seo Whale. What do you want me to do about it? Perhaps the words I once said to Senior Yu haven't been passed down to you. Emotions are just the amount of air that goes into the lungs and nothing more. No. Swish. Auspicious exchange of emotional expression activates once more. Chains fly towards Seo Whale. But with a flick of his hand, Seo Whale easily deflects the chains of auspicious exchange of emotional expression. Yu Beck launches the chains at Xiao Wei'ol several more times with dragon form soaring claw, but Xiao Wei'ol deflects them as if they are nothing. What a bother. Miss Hai Xiao, could you take care of this leftover for me? I don't want to. It's fun. Quote. Oh Hai Xiao, finding the situation amusing, sits to one side in Yuan Yu's body, propping her chin up. Well, if Miss Hai Xiao finds it bothersome, there's nothing I can do. Step. Xiao Wei'ol steps off my chest. But still, perhaps due to the characters of love of virtue floating above my upper, middle, and lower dantians, I can't move a finger, let alone speak. Clang. The chains of auspicious exchange of emotional expression target Xiao Wei'ol multiple times, but Xiao Wei'ol, with his uniquely unpleasant smile, continues deflecting them as if the brief entanglement with the chains during his slumber was merely a momentary inconvenience. Yu Beck's heart is hopelessly unreachable to Xiao Wei'ol. Whoosh! Xiao Wei'ol deflects the chains one last time. Suddenly, Xiao Wei'ol is right in front of Yu Beck. Have you vented a little? Snap! Xiao Wei'ol flicks his finger in front of Yu Beck. Blood spurts from her 7 orifices, and she collapses right there. Xiao Wei'ol completely disrupted the forcibly circulating heaven and earth spiritual energy within Yu Beck. It's miraculous her body didn't explode into a handful of flesh from the shock. Xiao Wei'ol glances down at Yu Beck for a moment, then grabs her by the hair and drags her towards us. With such a resentful body, offering her as a blood sacrifice to the Blood Yin realm will immediately strengthen fellow Taoist Seal. Now, Taoist Xiao, although there was a slight delay, shall we continue where we left off? What are you doing? Crack, creak, no matter what, words won't come out. However, moving my body seems somewhat possible when I muster all my strength. I concentrate the power of the formless sword into one arm, slowly lifting it. Despite the characters of love of virtue pressing down on me even more fiercely, I extend my hand without care. Towards Yu Beck. On the verge of death, yet you still have some business with this leftover. Ah, perhaps you wish to mate before being sealed. Shut up. I don't understand. What do you want with this leftover of this Saha world? Have you grown too attached to your toy? No. I concentrate all my focus on the arm extending towards Yu Beck. The formless sword, at the level of treading heavens, tears through the characters from love of virtue and slowly reaches Yu Beck. It's not a joke. Yu Beck is someone I can only meet in this life. Even if I meet her in the next life, she will never be the same Yu Beck as now. Born out of Yu Ryan's obsession and resentment, if not with the same emotions and memories as Yu Ryan, I will never see the same Yu Beck again. But I am not sad. After all, to me, every existence in this world is someone I can only meet once in that lifetime, and Yu Beck is no different. Yes, these are connections I can only form in this lifetime. How can the memories built with those unique connections be just a joke? Finally, I succeed in holding Yu Beck's hand. It's a hand hardened with calluses from practicing the dragon form soaring claw. A hand trained to meet Xiao Wei'ol, and one that practiced martial arts with me. At the same time, it's also the hand of a comrade who achieved nothing. It wasn't a joke, you say. Watching my lip movements, Xiao Wei'ol observes us for a moment before releasing Yu Beck's hair. She collapses powerlessly to the ground. Single quote. Question mark. Single quote. But I feel Xiao Wei'ol's actions are somewhat strange. What? Did I see something wrong just now? For a moment, I thought I saw a very faint gleam in Xiao Wei'ol's heart essence. It passed so quickly I am not sure if it was real. It must have been a mistake. I turn my attention away from what would be unlikely for Xiao Wei'ol and hold Yu Beck's hand firmly. Yu Beck isn't dead yet. Though she will probably die soon, her hand is trembling weakly. Through that trembling hand, I feel her emotions. Anger and resentment, longing and sorrow, and love. Yu Ryan loved Xiao Wei'ol. And Yu Beck, inheriting Yu Ryan's memories, also inherited the memories of loving Xiao Wei'ol so dearly. Even though filled with Yu Ryan's resentment, Yu Beck also holds love for Xiao Wei'ol. Even if the object of her love is a detestable being, her love itself shines too brightly for some like Xiao Wei'ol. I gaze at her heart essence, capturing that light within my own heart. I will remember your heart, this unique bond in this life. I will bury it deep within my heart and remember this feeling. Thus, Yu Beck's last appearance is added to the canvas of myriad forms and connections. I thought that would be her last appearance. Sararik, quote. Question mark. Quote. Before a pink thread extended from my hand. Sararik, Somehow, a fragrant floral scent spreads around. At the same time, roots sprout from the thread that extended from my body. The thread splits into several branches, spreading out in all directions. The strands that seem to spread out everywhere soon gather together, intertwining to form a shape. It's the figure of Kim Yeon. Wo Wang. Inside the deepest part of the burrow dug by Hong Fan. There lies a figure, still unconscious. It's Kim Yeon, who has not regained consciousness for days. She has been lying there with a blank look in her eyes for several days and nights. Kim Yeon is dreaming. It's the scene where she went on a business trip with the person she likes and saw the quince flowers blooming profusely in an orchard. Then, something resounded deep within her dream. I will remember. Your heart. It's the voice of Seo Eun-yeon, to whom Kim Yeon had attached her consciousness. Beyond Seo Eun-yeon's voice, the heart that Seo Eun-yeon wants to remember is conveyed to her through the consciousness attached to Seo Eun-yeon. It's the heart of someone who loves another. The heart of Gyu Ryan, who had devoted everything to Seo Weol. Although the ending was catastrophic, the heart of Gyu Ryan throughout the process shone so brightly. And that light was transmitted to Kim Yeon through Seo Eun-yeon. Simultaneously, as that light reached Kim Yeon, her wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon, combined with Kim Yeon's talent and her fate, tremendously amplified. As a result, Kim Yeon, while asleep, unknowingly awakened her true abilities. Through the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon. Tsts. The pink silhouette of Kim Yeon overlaps with my hand, which is holding Gyu Baek's. Our hands, mine, Gyu Baek's, and Kim Yeon's, are layered together. Seo Weol, surprised by the unexpected situation, steps back a few paces, and Oh Hi Seo waves at Kim Yeon with a delighted face. Oh my, it's Yeon, isn't it? Then, Oh Hi Seo extends her hand towards Kim Yeon with a joyful expression. Yeon you're being a nuisance. I'll come back and dote on you like old times, so could you disappear for a while? Tss. Around Kim Yeon, yin and yang swirl as if to make her figure blur momentarily. But only momentarily. The pink silhouette of Kim Yeon places her hand over the hole in Gyu Baek's chest. At the same time, golden light begins to burst from inside Gyu Baek's hollow chest. Seeing this, Seo Weol shouts at Oh Hi Seo. Miss Hi Seo, quickly, stop that. Wo Wang. A blue light flashes, and Seo Weol tries to fly away in his true form. However, the golden light is faster. The golden light turns into a thin thread and flies towards Seo Weol, naturally connecting to his chest. I understand what this golden light thread means. This is the vast cold oath. At the same time, Gyu Baek, whose chest is filled with golden light, flutters her eyes open. After locking eyes with Kim Yeon's silhouette for a moment, she coughs up blood and stands up. Then, Oh Hi Seo, who had been quickly reading through the threads of the vast cold oath, suddenly screams. Despite being in Yuan Yu's body, she clutches her burst eyes, crying tears of blood. As if she had seen something that should not be seen. What is that? What is that? What is that? Terror-stricken, Oh Hi Seo soon severs her connection with Yuan Yu's body and disappears into somewhere. Yuan Yu's body, having lost its controller, collapses right there. Gyu Baek, clutching her chest, extends her hand towards Seo Weol who is fleeing into the distance. Wo Wang, her intent overflows in all directions. Beyond the path to heavens. Auspicious exchange of emotional expression. Once again, Gyu Baek's Beyond the Path to Heavens is activated. Once more, chains emerge from Gyu Baek's chest. Not brown chains. Golden chains pursue Seo Weol with the speed of light, connecting to him without giving him a chance to react. Chalalalik. Connected to Seo Weol, the golden chains quickly shorten, pulling the fleeing Seo Weol back to this place. Seo Weol transforms back into human form as he is being pulled back and lands here. Seo Weol looks at Gyu Baek, then at Kim Yeon. What are you? His face is still smiling. But Seo Weol's voice is colder than ever. A technique that only vast cold can initiate, the vast cold oath. Why can you preside over the vast cold oath? Who are you? His smile is colder than ever, and Seo Weol's heart essence is more turbulent than ever before. Somewhere within the True Dragon Alliance. In the residence of the Black Dragon King. Inside, a massive dragon stirs. The black dragon raises its head to the sky, opening its mouth in disbelief. Vast cold. How could? Outside the serving command arc. Wonderfully mysterious fortress. At the heart of the fortress, the Mad Lord suddenly grabs his head and comes down from her knees. The Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon is resonating strongly with something. And, clutching his chest, the Mad Lord sheds tears. Not the noisy, bawling tears he had always shed. The silent tears flowing from the Mad Lord contain his sincerity. Quote, "My disciple is doing something." Feeling Kim Yeon's presence through the resonance of the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon, the Mad Lord looks towards the serving command arc. Something is happening there. I must go. I might witness something similar to, no, something far more tremendous than Yeon's play. Clutching his chest, the Mad Lord solemnly unfolds the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon without wiping his tears. Wo Wang, the Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon brightly ignites. It's time to end this clumsy puppet show. I need to see what my disciple is trying to do. Judging by this resonance from the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon, what my disciple is attempting must be the true next step that the wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon must achieve. Bo Wang. Briefly regaining his senses, the Mad Lord controls the wonderfully mysterious fortress, operating it more efficiently and logically. And the puppet legion of the wonderfully mysterious fortress, which had been bombarding indiscriminately with sheer numbers, begins to reorganize rapidly. This child is not what's important, right, Seo Weol? Yu Baek locks eyes with Kim Yeon's silhouette for a moment, then again with Seo Weol. It's like a miracle. No, it is a miracle. A miracle has occurred, and the vast cold oath has been activated. Seo Weol. Yu Baek points at her chest, brimming with golden light, with a clear smile. My heart is gone, and I am about to die. And since the vast cold oath was activated by a miracle, you will also die. Quote. You probably know better. The vast cold oath is a technique related to fate. Changing bodies or replenishing life force is useless. Resurrection is impossible. It means the heavens have decided to end our fate. Quote. But, as you know, Seo Weol, this isn't the vast cold oath agreed upon by both of us. It's a one-sided vast cold oath that Yu Ryan imposed on you. Since a witness is present here, you have the right to undo the vast cold oath, Seo Weol. Yu Baek slowly spreads her arms towards Seo Weol. Just as Yu Ryan transmitted her love to you by imposing the vast cold oath, undoing it must also be done in reverse. Seo Weol, the method to undo it is simple. At her following words, I can't help but snicker. Kiss me sincerely. Unless you return more than what Yu Ryan gave to you, the vast cold oath will not be undone. In many fairy tales featuring lovers, the ending usually involves breaking a curse with a kiss and living happily ever after. Similarly, Seo Weol, who is cursed, has to give a sincere kiss of love to Yu Baek in order to break the curse. Now, Seo Weol, show me your sincerity. Yu Baek, who informs Seo Weol that only sincerity can undo the curse, wears a cruel yet beautiful smile. And for the first time, Seo Weol's smile disappears from his lips. This long performance has come to an end. Only Seo Weol, dragged down below the stage, remains. Chapter 220. After the performance 2. Join the Discord for chapter updates donations. Seo Weol stares at Yu Baek with an expressionless face. His demeanor seems as if he is merely observing Yu Baek in front of him. Sincerity. I believe Elder Jeon Hyung said something similar at the end, you're alike in that regard. Step. Seo Weol approaches Yu Baek. Do you really want to see my sincerity? Of course. You'll regret it. With an expressionless and empty face, Seo Weol flicks his finger. Snap. As he flicks his finger, the characters of love of virtue that were pressing on my body return to Seo Weol. In other words, Seo Weol is more urgently concerned about the vast cold oath than me currently being connected to the owner of the heavenly lightning banner. Crackle. Watching my body rapidly turn into lightning, I witness the conclusion between Seo Weol and Yu Baek. Wo Wang. Around Seo Weol, 4 axes rise in all 4 directions. Longevity, wealth, health, love of virtue. The 4 axes form 4 pagodas around Seo Weol. The appearance, similar to the 4 protective pagoda Dharma treasures protecting the Yuan Li, makes me frown. Kugugugu. And just as the protective pagodas of Yuan Li spread a barrier to protect the Yuan Li, Seo Weol's 4 axes connect to each other, forming a canopy. Curse of Tainted Soul, Deadly Gaze. Wo Wang. Above Seo Weol and Yu Baek, a blood-red eyeball emerges, creating a ceiling above the 4 axes. The completed canopy covers Seo Weol and Yu Baek in the blink of an eye. Wo Wang. At the same time, I feel a sinister, revolting, and indescribably nauseating sensation from within. That is, as if it's a representation of Seo Weol's heart essence inside. Kim Yeon's figure remains calm, still reaching out her hand inside, and the vast cold oath is activated without any problems. However, I can't shake off a foreboding feeling. In a way, this is one of Seo Whale's hidden cards. This is one of the first tricks Seo Whale reveals after removing the smile from his face. What will happen? Wo Wang. That's when I feel a strange sensation from the canvas of myriad forms and connections. Why, is there something else? But while contemplating the canvas of myriad forms and connections, I realize something. That's the curse used by Seo Whale, Tainted Soul Deadly Gaze. I realize that it, for some reason, greatly resembles the canvas of myriad forms and connections. So it is. The misty thing Oh Hai Seo saw when she was reading me was likely the canvas of myriad forms and connections. The only thing that she could describe as misty when looking at me was that. Then, the reason she tried to shake my canvas of myriad forms and connections might have been to test if she could find a way to target Seo Whale, assuming Seo Whale had learned a similar method to mine. If Oh Hai Seo couldn't completely read me using the canvas of myriad forms and connections, Seo Whale couldn't completely read me either. Crack, crackle, I managed to hold myself together, preventing my body from fully transforming and vaporizing into lightning. Wo Wang. The power contained in Black Dragon's true blood pulls me from the opposite direction from the power attempting to return me to the owner of the heavenly lightning banner. Crack, crackle, it is only at the brink of death that I understand. The power of the Black Dragon's true blood is not a blessing or a powerful force. It is a calamity. Gulp, gulp, the power of the Black Dragon is trying to engulf me. It isn't doing something kind like preventing me from turning into lightning and returning. It is merely pulling me because it doesn't want to lose its prey. If I hadn't faced the situation of dissolving into lightning by directly confronting the owner of the heavenly lightning banner, I might have been slowly consumed by the Black Dragon's true blood. However, I managed to maintain my form, balancing the forces of true immortal level beings pulling me from both sides. Creak, creak, my body, transforming into lightning, takes on a half-human, half-dragon form and emits black lightning. If I lose balance even slightly, the power of the Black Dragon or the lightning will immediately devour me. Wriggle, wriggle, I take out the white red wine from my storage bag and drink it. The colorless glass swords become directly connected to me. The power of the Black Dragon. Wriggle, wriggle, through the canvas of myriad forms and connections, I discover the sticky, wriggling power of Taiyan. Gulp, cold sweat runs down my face. I can feel it. Even if I don't know about the curse of becoming lightning, the power of the Black Dragon's true blood will continue into the next life. Because I can feel all too clearly through the canvas of myriad forms and connections that the power of the Black Dragon is eroding my history. It's more dangerous than becoming lightning. I've decided, since the end of my life is near, at the very last moment, I must purify my whole body with the power of the owner of the heavenly lightning banner, shaking off the power of the Black Dragon. To me, a regressor who has built a long history, the power of the Black Dragon is an even greater calamity. Hu Wang. Maintaining a balance between the power of lightning and the Black Dragon, I grab one of the 3,000 colorless glass swords floating around me. Thanks to being refined in the golden core for nearly 100 years, each of the colorless glass swords have become as hard and sharp as a bronze sword or an iron sword sold in a village forge. Colorless glass sword, combine. Wo Wang. 3,000 colorless glass swords overlap 10 at a time. 300 colorless glass swords each rise from the level of inferior to a fairly good iron sword. The colorless glass swords overlap again, 10 at a time. 30 colorless glass swords reach the level of iron swords made with the highest refining techniques. The colorless glass swords overlap once more, and 3 colorless glass swords each become as hard and sharp as a famous sword. And the last 3 colorless glass swords combine again. SSSSST. When the 3 famous swords combine, a treasure sword is born. The final stage of the colorless glass sword. All heavens. When spiritual power is injected into the treasure sword level colorless glass sword, 3,000 circuits activate, and the power begins to amplify due to the canvas of myriad forms and connections. The power is sufficient. All that remains is to help you back and witness Seo Whale's end. I reinforce the colorless glass sword once again by overlaying it with the formless sword. Jeong. The colorless glass sword swings, shaking Seo Whale's canopy. However, there isn't even a scratch on the barrier. Continue. Again and again. Kung, kung, kung. I use foolish old man moves mountains to gradually amplify the destructive power. My power, mixed with the 3 forces of heaven, earth, and heart, gradually increases, reaching the level of the 4-axis stage. Jeong, Jeong, Jeong. With each collision, the resonance grows louder. Then at some point, Yua, who was hit by the light of the lustrous glaze peacock by Ohai Seo, rises. She doesn't ask any details. Instead, as she watches me strike Seo Whale's canopy, she begins to play without saying a word, perhaps understanding the situation. Kururum, heavenly thunder. A sound akin to heavenly tribulation resounds around her, striking Seo Whale's canopy multiple times. Our combined attack hits Seo Whale's canopy several times. But, Seo Whale's canopy, despite its tremors growing, shows no signs of cracking. Kim Yeon's figure, whether it has consciousness or not, merely presides over the vast cold oath. I keep striking Seo Whale's canopy, assessing the survival of Yu Baek and Seo Whale through Kim Yeon's figure. How long has it been? Kugugugugu. From afar, a familiar fortress flies in. It isn't a spatial leap. It officially broke through the top entrance of the serving command arc and entered. The Mad Lord's wonderfully mysterious fortress has finally arrived here. Indeed, what will the Mad Lord do upon seeing us? He might immediately capture me to use as puppet material and capture Seo Whale separately. However, unexpectedly, the wonderfully mysterious fortress doesn't attack me right away. Instead, a solemn voice of an old man comes from inside. Seo Whale's 4-axis canopy, huh? Instead of the 5 elements, he built the axis on something else. It's not a typical 4-axis. It's solid enough to be believed as a unique domain of the integration stage. Moreover, something inside is strengthening the gravitational pull, making the solidity of that canopy no different from the very peak of the integration stage. I am startled to hear the Mad Lord's voice. That voice is. The Mad Lord is in his right mind. For some reason, the Mad Lord is clear-headed. Senior Jo Yeon, please lend us your strength to capture Seo Whale. That sounds good. However, I came here to see my disciple. Creak. The gates of the wonderfully mysterious fortress opens, and the Mad Lord appears with his hands clasped behind his back along with her. The Mad Lord squints his eyes upon seeing Kim Yeon's figure. Not the main body. Only an avatar is here. And, manipulating laws with consciousness. What exactly is happening here? The Mad Lord speaks, licking his lips. Why didn't you bring Yeon's main body here? I hid Yeon's main body, fearing that Senior Jo Yeon might take her away once you arrived. Ha ha ha, that's good. A wise decision. The Mad Lord laughs heartily and nods his head. Well, that aside, Yeon is currently manipulating laws with her consciousness, managing something, or should I say, proceeding with something. What is she doing right now? Explain the situation to me. I briefly explained to the Mad Lord about Yu Baek, Seo Whale, the vast cold oath, and Kim Yeon. I see. Yu Ryan, was it? Haha, she might have ended up like me if she were alive. After hearing about Yu Ryan and Yu Baek, the Mad Lord briefly comments on Yu Ryan. Quote. As I look at the Mad Lord with a puzzled expression, he snaps irritably. The reason she ended up like this is because Seo Whale set up the stage, so it's no different from me losing a lover to Seo Whale. Anyway, today seems to be the perfect day for revenge. Seo Whale's downfall by someone who loves him. The Mad Lord raises his hand with a bitter smile. Wo Wang, 27 integration stage level puppets. And the wonderfully mysterious fortress itself along with her. A total of 29 integration stage puppets aim their muzzles at Seo Whale's canopy all at once. Fire. As the Mad Lord lowers his hand, beams capable of burning the heavens and earth strike Seo Whale's canopy. Integration stage's peak level defense. It's futile against the salvo from around 30 integration stage puppets. Seo Whale's canopy is instantly turned into rags. However, true to the Mad Lord's analysis as a peak level canopy of the integration stage, it turns into rags without being punctured. But the Mad Lord calmly raises his hand once more and slams it down. Second strike. JJ Wang. A tremendous hole is blasted in the floor of the serving command arc everywhere except where Seo Whale's canopy is located. Third strike. Flash. The floor of the fourth layer of the serving command arc collapses, creating a hole between the third and fourth floors. And finally, a large hole is blasted through Seo Whale's canopy. The Mad Lord, with his hands clasped behind his back, says, I've made a hole for you, so pulling Seo Whale out should be something you can handle. It seems like he is assigning a task to me and Yua, but I realize the Mad Lord is giving us an opportunity for revenge. I express my gratitude. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. Quiet, go now. The wonderfully mysterious innate heart canon is resonating, so my mind is clear for now, but who knows when I'll go mad again. There's no time. Quote. Yes. We enter inside the canopy. Wo Wang. From the outside, it appears as a small canopy, but upon entering, a vast space unfolds. Reaching the 4-axis stage and stacking more than 3 axes, gives one a space that becomes the foundation for the unique domain obtained during the integration stage. Within that space, the abilities of an integration stage cultivator becomes tremendously powerful, and they can do things they couldn't do before. Wang. Far away, I feel the energy of the vast cold oath pulling me in. I am a witness to the vast cold oath of Xiao Wei'ol and Yu Ryan. I can feel the energy of the vast cold oath. The inside of the canopy is a space filled with a repugnant smell and darkness. Though we thought we had made a large hole in the canopy from the outside, swimming through the domain of darkness, the hole through which we entered appears smaller from this far back. It's cold. I feel that this space somehow resembles Xiao Wei'ol's heart essence itself. Cold, filthy, sticky, repulsive, dark. Merely being here feels like my mind is being contaminated. If the heart essence of Yuan Li, who had devoured countless people, is a dung field, then Xiao Wei'ol's heart essence is like the site of a nuclear power plant explosion. Staying here for too long might make one go mad, tainted by Xiao Wei'ol's darkness. Far away, a faint golden light is visible. Yu Beck. It's Yu Beck. Yu Beck stands in the middle of the darkness, emitting golden rays from her chest. Miss Yu Beck, are you all right? I fly towards her with Yu Hua, shouting. But Yu Beck does not respond. I try to read Yu Beck's heart essence and sigh deeply. She had received a significant shock. What had she seen in this darkness? Miss Yu Beck. And then, at that moment, step, Xiao Wei'ol emerges from the darkness. With an expressionless face, Xiao Wei'ol looks at me and speaks. You brought the Mad Lord, Taoist Xiao. But it's no problem. Even if the Mad Lord comes, I can escape easily. Quote. What did you do to Yu Beck? I only gave her what she desired. She asked to see my sincerity, so I showed her the sincerity I had stored. Quote. It seems that the technique Xiao Wei'ol had learned, similar to the canvas of myriad forms and connections, is a kind of technique for storing not memories but emotions. Now, what do you think, Yu Beck? Even after this, would you wish I had kissed you? Xiao Wei'ol takes a step towards Yu Beck with an expressionless face. Startled, Yu Beck steps back in surprise at Xiao Wei'ol's approach. Xiao Wei'ol says with an empty face. Quote. Emotions are quite interesting, aren't they? You talk as if you could accept my sincerity depending on the emotions, but after confirming those emotions, you are instead afraid. He looks at Yu Beck and commands. That's your sincerity, Yu Beck. With the witness of the vast cold oath gathered, if the caster wishes, it's possible to undo it. Undo the vast cold oath, Yu Beck. Aside from me giving you my sincerity, I know you can undo it if you wish. Yu Beck attempts to form a seal with trembling hands. At that moment, I shout powerfully. Don't do it, Senior Yu Ryan. Quote. Exclamation mark quote. At those words, Yu Beck looks at me in shock. I'm well aware of how disgusting, how filthy Xiao Wei'ol's true nature is, and I understand the shock you must have received, Senior Yu Ryan. Imagine thinking about proposing to Buck Hyonghua only to find out it was Yuan Li. The mere thought makes one dizzy and nauseous. Yu Ryan's feelings must be similar. But, didn't Senior Yu Ryan want to take revenge on Xiao Wei'ol? Quote. I am not Yu Ryan. Yu Beck, significantly weakened, steps back from Xiao Wei'ol and speaks. What has she seen in Xiao Wei'ol? It wasn't just a glimpse of Xiao Wei'ol's heart essence. Perhaps something much deeper, something even I hadn't seen, something even more grotesque. How ironic, Taoist Xiao. Emotions are like that. One moment you like someone, and the next, seeing another aspect of them, everything falls apart. That's what emotions are. To an object, emotions are like the amount of air in the lungs. That alone is sufficient. That's all there is to emotions. Are you still spouting the logic that the lungs correspond to metal, so emotions are metallic? I coldly spit words at Xiao Wei'ol and look at Yu Beck. I don't know what she saw. Therefore, I can't understand Yu Beck. But I can understand Yu Ryan. Certainly, you are not Senior Yu Ryan. You are an independent entity. However, you are precisely what was born from Senior Yu Ryan's will, shaped into form. You're not just some leftover, you are one of the countless aspects Senior Yu Ryan possessed. Therefore, she is indeed Yu Ryan as well. Let me ask you one thing. How pointless. Sia Whale extends his finger towards me. The entire space twists, and a tremendous gravitational force presses down on me. Then, Yuhua stands in front of me. Stop, Baek Nyang. The gravitational force in the space lightens, and a green light wriggles in the darkness. Baek Nyang's figure emerges next to Sia Whale. Quote. Master. Yuhua protects me and Yubek from Sia Whale and begins conversing with Baek Nyang. The master and disciple begin their separate conversations. I briefly look at them before focusing on Yubek's eyes. Senior Gu Ryan wanted to return what she received from Sia Whale, didn't she? That's why, on the day you were born from Senior Gu Ryan, you said you would kill Sia Whale, right? Quote. Yes. But, Yubek hesitates with trembling lips. I nod at her. Has it become difficult to kill Sia Whale? Quote. I am sorry. The moment I confirmed his sincerity, I lost the confidence to accept it from him. I understand. I nod. Then, may I take on that role for you? What? Upon my hands, would you entrust me with your feelings towards Sia Whale? Is that possible? I'll try. Quote. All right. Yubek slowly approaches and hugs me. I hug Yubek tightly in return. Yubek forms a seal. TSSS's. The golden chains emanating from her chest fades away. She's undone the vast cold oath herself. It isn't a foolish mistake to throw away the chance to bind and take revenge on Sia Whale. I feel her heart entrusted to me. This ends rather anticlimactically. Soon, Yubek's body grows cold. Without a heart, Yubek had been forcibly circulating chi to extend her life. Now, she dies. I, too, am barely holding on between the power of the black dragon and lightning. But soon I will be completely consumed. Yuhua, as well, cannot possibly handle Sia Whale alone in this space. What should be done then? Before dying, I will muster the last of my strength and deliver a strike to Sia Whale. Swoosh. The colorless glass sword, having reached the stage of total heavens, shines in all of heaven's colors. The misty canvas of myriad forms and connections unfolds in Sia Whale's darkness. TST. Contemplating my body transforming into lightning, I close my eyes. Using the Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace daily on Kim Yin, I continually reflected on my body transforming into lightning in martial arts. And while watching my body disperse into lightning, I reflected on what lightning is, gaining insight into it. From now on, I return to thee. Merely saying, return to thee, isn't enough to summon the true immortal. But perhaps it can attract their attention. Sia Whale, too, might have blocked me because he feared receiving that attention. But there's something I fear more than the attention of true immortals. Therefore, risking the attention of true immortals, I strongly recall the eyes I saw then and accelerate the electrification of my entire body even further. Crackle. Third stage of manifestation. When reaching the stage beyond treading heavens, the nature of the attack changes, becoming akin to heavenly tribulation. Then, if I, already transforming my entire body into heavenly tribulation, use treading heavens beyond the path, would that be the same as the next stage? The answer is crackle, over 90% similar. The lightning wrapping my body and the formless sword of treading heavens naturally merges, and the color of the lightning turns colorless. Kuring, Kururung. The essence of lightning is the instant sattva. Our lives are also instant. Therefore, beyond treading heavens, which maximizes life, it bears a trait similar to heavenly tribulation. But to be more precise, I can only know once I've truly reached the next stage. Let's pose a problem. I smirk and aim the colorless glass sword at Sia Whale. From now on, for now, this is sufficient. Kururung. How many heavenly tribulations will be added to you? Translator notes. Sattva in Chinese and Japanese, originally derived from Sanskrit, refers to an extremely brief moment or instant. In Buddhist philosophy, it is often used to describe the smallest unit of time, emphasizing the transient nature of all things where each moment is fleeting and quickly gives way to the next, the constant flux of the universe.